Everything. They had sex in May. During this process.
We had sex in May, correct.
But you just said she was just
So
your
you
friend.
said this was your friend girl.
No, correct. It was. That was just. It was just one time.
I don't have sex with my friends.
Wait, come on.
Hey guys, welcome to Little Black Book 91. Yes, we're giving you guys a super panel tonight, baby. Your Saturday night's never been so crazy, baby. Okay, listen, you're here with Mineral Gang. Don't play with me, don't play with me, don't play with me. Okay, listen, we got to talk about Ready to Love. The reunion episode, reunion part 1. Crazy episode. We had Alexis going on an absolute mad one. She lost the Fazizi. I don't know what happened to her, but you know what? Skadachi. You know, say it with me. Skadachi. It means this is mad. When you say something skadachi, it just means something's mad. You know what I'm saying to you? So whenever you hear me say skadachi, just know what I mean is that it's mad. You know what I'm saying to you? Are you mad? Are you mad? Are you lean? Because what is this? It's nonsense. Okay, then we had Alonzo lying. Okay, why you always lying? Why stop your lying? Like, why did Alonzo have to lie? Okay, listen, that's another conversation for, you know, I already done that already. Okay, all right. So Alonzo lied to me. Okay, listen, he a liar. All right, he a liar. And then we also got, we have Patrice. Her situation with MIEKA and Will and KOSHEIA. I mean, that was just manic. I mean, there was blow for blow when it came to MIEKA and Will. They went at it. He talked about her shoes being tied. She talked about his chain being fake and him being broke. Patrice said she ain't backing down. She's gonna double down on her madness. You know, even though she was wrong about being a staged home, baby, how do you not know a staged home doesn't have a bed in it, babe? Like, I mean, can I be honest with you? Even in the UK, when we say a staged home, we know what it meant. Okay, cool. And then obviously, that was the main kind of things that were kind of going on this particular show as well. So listen, it was a crazy time, as well on this episode. So you listen, like I said, we ain't gonna do this alone tonight. We'll have the super panel on in a few minutes as well. So we gonna get a party popping. Listen, if you are not a member of this particular establishment, can I let you know something? You are on dangerous territory and grounds. Okay, all right, you're on dangerous territory and grounds. Say it with me, skadachi. Turn to your neighbor and say, skadachi. Are you mad? Are you mad? Are you lean? You are on dangerous grounds. You are here without membership. You are on dangerous grounds. Don't play with me. Father, we thank you in the name of Jesus. Before we start the madness of the super panel and the rest of the conversations around Ready to Love, I just want you to take your community here, Lord, and just bless them. Father, those who are waiting on an answer prayer, Father, may you release a word onto them. May you release a promise. May you release a breakthrough and a door to be open for them. In the name of Jesus, we pray. Amen. Listen, look, we got to get the show started. You know what I mean? Okay? But say with me, type it in the chat, skadachi. Okay? It means it's mad. You know what I'm saying to you? When I say skadachi, it means it's mad. You understand? Are you mad? Are you mad? Are you lean? Don't play with me. Don't play with me. I'm expecting at least 600 to 800 people in the room tonight. Listen, if you're not a member, you are missing out. Okay? All right? If you're not a member, you're missing out. Constant Baby said, to heck with the subscribers. Baby, did you not just get the prayer? Baby, did you not just get the prayer? Listen, don't mess with a man. The Bible says the prayers of a righteous man availeth much. You are asking about subscribership, but let me tell you something. When I started praying, I included everybody. Subscribership, non-subscribership. Those who are watching, listen, if you're connected, you're connected. You're getting your doors open. You get what I'm saying to you? But there's another blessing I want you to enter into. Get your membership. You know what I'm saying to you? Enter into the gates here. You know what I'm saying? Enter the gates through the membership and receive an extra blessing. You got what I'm saying to you? But I'm praying for you all. You understand? This is a family. You got me? Yeah? It availeth much. So whatever you've been praying for, I've got you. But let me tell you something. All right, cool. Listen. All jokes aside, listen, I'm a bit hyped. So listen, when after you come out of prayer, you've talked to God, you've been hearing the voice of God, it gets you You know what I'm saying to you? It just gets you a little bit hyped. But can we talk about a little situation before the super panel starts? I have to talk about this situation, okay? Now, if you watched my earlier live, I'm not going to go through it again. I do want to talk about another scenario that happened. Hold on a minute. Where is it, baby? No. I want to see the. I want to get to here because I want to talk about the nonsense that happened with Patrice, and also that happened with Patrice, and also happened with our brother Will and MIEKA as well. Because I just thought to myself that it was a little bit, I felt like, Patrice doubled down, and she didn't need to double down. She should just admitted that she was wrong about what she said. Like, I didn't think it needed to be dragged, but Patrice wanted to drag it because she didn't want to admit that she was wrong. Okay, and it felt a little bit like it was a little bit of a gang up, but I'm not mad at it. It happens. People do some stuff, and let me get to my clip of this situation. I wrote down my notes. You have to make sure you use the notes. All right, cool. All right, let's get to my notes. Here we are. So let me get to the screen. All right, cool. This is the part I want to get to. I want to get to the part where Tommy asked her if she felt she was wrong, and she doubled down. She said, "Nah, do you know what? I'm gonna double down." Let me see this part. Oh my gosh, why can't I find the clip? Okay, cool. Here we go. I think it's around about here. Sorry. Yeah.
And a little clearer.
But what you said affected people's perception of him is what I mean.
Well, no, I feel like what affected his journey.
He was very catty like he is now.
Yeah.
I will say, honestly, personally, Will and I had a connection. But I also feel like some things with Will shouldn't be addressed. Like, I didn't even tell Will that Patrice in particular was the one who mentioned.
All right, cool. Listen, now the situation between Will, Patrice, Alexis was an absolute mad thing. Can't lie to you. It was crazy, brazy, absolutely brazy. It was a madness. Okay, all right, absolute madness. And I'll tell you why it was absolute madness, right? First and foremost, obviously, when it came to Patrice and Will, I absolutely agree that when it came to the situation with with Will was not hampered necessarily by him sleeping on the floor. They didn't get rid of Will because he was sleeping on the floor. They got rid of Will because he's annoying. It's just that simple. After interviewing him, I can see why they got rid of him. Okay? All right? And that's no offense to him, but just watching how he moves and how he was on the interview, I was like, yeah, of course I got rid of you. If every second what comes out your mouth is, I'm a millionaire, I want to be a millionaire so freaking bad. If every single time your thought process is, I'm a millionaire, then by all means, if that always comes out your mouth, you are going to be a little bit annoying. I can't say that any less. You know what I mean? Somebody who's always bragging usually doesn't have. So I understood why the ladies got onto Will talking about, and MIEKA said it specifically. She was like, "Oh, you don't have it," basically. Now my issue is this: MIEKA was going at him a little bit, and I'm like, babe, maybe you should explain it, but the tone that you're taking, it's gonna end up in a beef. Just saying, okay? All right, it's gonna end up in a beef. Okay, the way that you're taking it, the way you're talking about it, babe, MIEKA, the way you're talking about it, it's gonna get into a beef. But she had the right idea, because in reality, when you are always talking about we interviewed him, and all he kept on saying was, I own houses, I got assets, I got properties, and I said, but in my head, I'm like, but I'm not questioning you on your properties or on your money or on your prosperity. God bless you if you have those things. God bless you. You know what I'm saying to you? God bless you. May the Lord continue to open doors for you and open opportunities for you. May the Lord continue to elevate you. But we don't always need to know at every second of your mouth, that you are blessed. You know what I'm saying to you? Like, if I'm a Christian and I keep telling you I'm a Christian, right? And I keep saying I'm a Christian. After a while, you're going to be asked, is this guy really a Christian? Is he really trying to... Because you see, what you are doesn't need to be explained, yeah? What's understood need not be explained. Say skedachi with me in the audience again. Skedachi. It means, are you mad? Yeah, are you mad or are you mad, Eileen? Because honestly, when you are in a place where you're just being that very thing, you don't have to always say I'm a Christian. The behaviors and the actions that you take are going to be the fruits of the fact that I'm a Christian, or the behaviors or the fruits of your generosity are going to show that, you know what, you're a millionaire. But the whole problem is you keep telling us you're a millionaire, so it is a little bit annoying. So I understood why MIEKA was saying what she was saying. Now, the only problem I had was that MIEKA was kind of going at butter, okay? The way she was going at it was going to end up being a beef, you know? But she was absolutely right. You know what I mean? But then at one point, MIEKA got to a place where she was pressed. And I was like, MIEKA, see how you getting pressed? This is what happens. Look at this.
I'm a scammer?
You a scammer.
I'm a scammer.
Bitch.
What you is? You a baby mama with your tubes tied.
What?
Oh.
This is so nasty. This is
See, now he dragged you into a madness. Now he cussing you out. Now you calling him a scammer. Like, it doesn't work for anybody to be in this position, right? But the problem is, it started off with the madness. It started off with the disrespect. It started off with a little bit of one or two comments out there, right? So when you start that way, it's going to end that way. Like, do you know what I'm saying to you? Now, I'm not saying either one of them are right. I personally don't think either one of them are correct. I don't back Will, and I don't back MIEKA. If you start cussing somebody, expect to be cussed back. I can't defend you on that point. You know what I mean? Like, if you decide to do something, that is on you, and I cannot defend you when you decide to do it. Do you get what I'm saying to you? My question is, I'm going to ask, is Will a scammer to you? Do you feel Will is a scammer? That's what I'm asking in the chat. The poll is up. We got obviously over 400 people in the room. Talk to me. Do you think Will is a scammer? That's the question we got to say. Is Will a scammer? That's the question we're asking right now. Is Will a scammer? Skadachi, baby. Skadachi, I know. Skadachi, I know. Skadachi, I know. We're moving mad right now, but Skadachi, we got to... listen, are you mad? We got to be there, okay? All right? That's what I'm saying to you, okay? Look. That's what I'm going to say, okay? But let me go a little bit further back, because where the beef actually started...
Up on a Dallas
I really don't care, too. I never will.
Why are you arguing with a female?
because he's a bitch.
And see, this is the problem I had with this situation. So, okay, first and foremost, if MIEKA doesn't care, why did you say anything? I'm not defending Will again. Once more, I want to make it very clear. I am not defending Will. What I'm going to say is, if you don't care, why would you say anything? Like, see, people always try to make out like, I'm not pressed, I don't care, but you said something. So why did you say something? Do you know what I'm saying to you? Why would you say something? If you're not pressed, why would you say something? If you're not pressed about it, why'd you call him a scammer? Right? You don't need to say anything. See, but when you are pressed, you are going to say something. This is just a reality of the situation, right? And the body language is going to change. Watch too.
You don't know anything
Okay,
about
you don't know
me.
anything about
you don't
me
know
either.
anything about
So,
me.
okay then,
We had
simmer
one
down. I'm not talking to you.
conversation.
Well,
We had
listen.
one conversation.
Now you're trading back and forth, and you're leaning over your chair now. So you are pressed now. See, so you didn't care about him, but now you're gonna have to care about him because he drags you up into your emotions. This is what I'm saying to you. Like, sometimes people try to act like they're better than somebody, and they're not. You're not better than a person. You're in the same boat, right? But you try to play it nonchalant, like you don't care because you wanted to disrespect him, and I don't really like that, right? Now, as far as I don't like Will and his behaviors that he might have issued on the show. He made, KOSHEIA feel uncomfortable, and I understand that as well. And I think the way that, that he moves a little bit, maybe rub women up the wrong way. But in reality of the situation, does he deserve the I'm a scammer vibe and then think it's going to be okay and you think you're just going to let it go? Like, especially to a man, like, your money is your biggest thing. Now, I want to show you something. When it starts, look at the body language. You know me on body language. She started off on the back foot. She was like, I don't care about you. I'm sitting back and I don't care about you. But when she did start caring, the body language is going to shift and it's going to change. Have a look.
How are we
a
supposed
lot
to
of
know
people know me.
that? We don't
You can
know
look me
you.
up on a Dallas.
And he was pressed too, because his body language was laying back. No, and you know what? He was pressed too, right? Because we all get pressed when someone starts to come at you. Okay, all right? It shows you get pressed. All right? It's normal. Because someone's talking on your name and you feel like you don't want someone talking your name. Huh? Just saying.
I really don't care, too.
I
I never will.
Why are you arguing with a female?
Because he's a bitch.
You don't know.
But see, now you're sitting forward. You see what I'm saying to you? So now you're sitting forward. See, you started here, but now you're here too. But you don't really care, right? But you're turning your head towards him now. You care now. So Alexis wasn't the only problem. MIEKA became a problem a little bit, you know, as well, right? Because that didn't need to turn into an argument. It didn't need to. The conversation never needed to go that way. You know what I'm saying to you? The conversation never needs to go that way. It didn't need to. And in the end, actually, Will kind of half apologized, but MIEKA didn't. And I'm like, well, we don't know. It might have cut. We didn't see it, but I think both of them should have apologized. You know what I'm saying to you? I think both of them should apologize. If I'm there and I'm getting called out, right? And the reason why I'm saying that is also too, and I know why MIEKA situation, this situation here, and I'll show you what happened here with MIEKA and Alexis, because this was quite interesting. I need to get my notes. Okay, let me go to my next clip. Hold on. Let me just. Okay. Let me go to my next clip.
Broader than what you think. Do you regret saying what you said?
No, I think he could have been a little clearer.
But what you said affected people's perception of him, is what I mean.
Well, no, I feel like what affected his journey.
Okay, now let's be very clear here, okay, with the situation Patrice, Will. Now, Will's journey was never affected by Patrice saying he steps on the floor. They didn't like him anyway, okay? They didn't like him anyway, right? But number two, I want to say this, okay? All right, I want to say this. You know you were wrong. Tommy just explained to you what a stage home is like. No, he could have been clearer. How? Why did he need to? Why did you assume that a staged home means you're sleeping on the floor? Why didn't you ask a qualifying question? Why didn't you ask a qualifying question? Do you know what I mean? So that makes me look at Patrice even more difficult. Like you did try to sabotage him. Now, don't even get twisted. He was going home anyway because the girls didn't like him, right? But the reality of the situation is you have been told that the stage home doesn't mean that. Apologize and keep it moving. Doesn't. So I felt sorry for her when it came to the situation of Alonzo. And absolutely, you can be right and wrong in the same day. You know what I mean? So you can be right about the Alonzo situation, but now I'm seeing your unaccountability here. Now I'm seeing your unaccountability here. Because why didn't you ask the extra question? If your mind was like, wait, I think it sounds like he's going to be sleeping on the floor. Wait, are you saying you're going to be sleeping on the floor? That's all you have to do. That's all you have to do. If your mind goes there, all you got to do is ask the question. Okay, you didn't ask the question, but now you've been told that you're wrong. No. That's when I realized, no, you're unaccountable. You're unaccountable. You and Alonzo deserve each other. You're unaccountable. Okay? Very much unaccountable if you can stay in that position too. So I'm looking at Will. Will's attitude all poor and wrong. All up and there and wrong. Okay? You got Patrice here unaccountable too. We got MIEKA fighting everybody. We got MIEKA trying to down Alexis. You got Alexis trying to fight everybody. You got you got LARON in there also giving a little bit of boo-boo too. There's a lot of things going on in this particular episode. You know what I mean? So I was like, look, if you didn't ask a qualifying question, that tells me about yourself. Right? That tells me about yourself. And my thing is also, you drive celebrities around, so you know not to make deductions just like that. Your job infers that you need to ask more questions. So why not ask more questions? You know what I mean? Okay, so let me get my next point up. Because I want to get my next point. I want to get this part, because this part was killing me. Okay, yeah, this part here. I said, oh, it's going to turn to a fight.
nothing to this little girl. And
We
when
do
she
need
wanna-
to be
When
respectful.
she want to sit here and say
Little
between
girl.
the two of us, we got a half a brain, the respect has gone out the door.
I don't have
So
respect for
then-
either one of you.
Now, at this point, I can't lie to you. This beef, I don't want to go too deep into it because I want to do a separate video for it. But yeah, this beef was just nuts. It was silly, really. I can't lie to you. You know, I think it was silly. Both of them had issues, but I can't lie to you. What obviously, I listen. Alexis calling them no brain between the two of them. That's gonna always start a beef. And I kind of felt for KOSHEIA in this little bit there, you know what I mean? Now, of course, KOSHEIA did call her out a little bit, but not necessarily call her out. She was basically saying that, you know, information was being leaked by Alexis. Did it require that kind of response? I don't feel like it required a response the way that Alexis gave. I feel Alexis' response to KOSHEIA was kind of mad. Just a little bit. Just a little bit. And I liked their conversation because actually what KOSHEIA came to the point, I like this point that she made. She was accountable.
Not even said, but I need to have a conversation with Will because I need to be accountable for the fact that I didn't tell him that myself. But I never got the opportunity to speak to Will.
So are we saying Alexis was...
Now, I want to be very, very clear here. KOSHEIA actually did a very good job here. She said, listen, hey, I want to be honest with you. Listen, I need to be accountable too because I need to have the will of conversation with Will. I respect that. See me, I'm always going to big up people that are going to be accountable about their behavior. You know what I mean? In that moment, she was accountable. She said, hey, look, do you know what? I should have really told you, you know, I should have had a conversation with Will. I shouldn't have let, you know, other things jump in. I felt some type of way, but I didn't get a chance to because obviously somebody was snitching, okay? I thought accountability like that is beautiful. Chef's kiss. Okay, we call that chef's kiss. When you're accountable on that point where you realize you could have done something better, chef's kiss. Patrice can learn a thing or two from that. Skidachi. You know what I'm saying to you? It is all skidachi. This whole thing is all skidachi. Like it's a bit too much for me. Are you mad? Are you mad? Are you lean? You know what I'm saying to you? It's skidachi, bro. It's all madness. Okay, play a little bit longer.
Giving information to Will that came from the lounge.
And what did I tell you from the ladies' lounge?
Why you got so much to say? You were so vocal
Because
today. I've
it's
never
goofy.
heard you talk
It's
so
goofy.
much.
Y'all are
See, now when MIEKA does the, why you got so much to say to, you're so vocal, did it, that is, see, and this is what I'm trying to say to you. If Alexis was beefing MIEKA the whole day, I would understand, but Alexis was beefing everybody. Now, obviously in that situation, MIEKA's also ready to do what she's doing. She acting like she's not a part of the issue. She's an issue. Okay? She's a part of the issue. Okay? All right? She's a part of the issue. Because in that reality of that situation, it escalates because of MIEKA. And because of Alexis as well. Alexis escalated by calling them silly. Right? So, for me, I was looking at it going, MIEKA, why are you saying those things? Why are you trying to get this girl hyped? About you, this is the most I've ever heard you say. Come on. What do you think is going to happen? Now, of course, at the same time, Alexis got to keep herself composed. I can't put that on MIEKA. Okay? All right? We cannot put that on MIEKA alone. Alexis should have held her composure and not allowed herself to be dragged into the situation. You know what I mean? So for me, yeah, I wasn't with it. I was looking at it and I was like, you know what? I'm going to be honest with you. This is nuts. Okay? Absolutely nuts. All right? So, yeah, I don't know. It's a wild thing for me. And, yeah. Can't lie. It's too nuts. It's too nuts. You know what I'm saying to you? Let me get Sean on real quick. I know we're going to have this conversation because there's a lot of things to get through before we get the super panel all here. I know the ladies will come to join us in a bit. Loving the jacket, bro. What are you saying, Sean?
What's going on, broski?
I'm good, bro. You right? Sorry.
Yeah, I'm good. I'm good. No complaints.
Yeah, man,
no
bro.
complaints. Yeah, man. This was a hot thing. We actually had a little quick live on Jay's channel, Another Round,
Shout out, Jay.
a couple of hours ago, and it was really centered around the whole Alexis conversation. So, I think it's there's two sides to every coin. And I think that at the end of the day, everybody's a little right and everybody's a little wrong. To quote our good brother Batiste from Love Is Blind, you know, I think Alexis had a lot. She was charged. I don't know why she was so amped. And I don't understand what got into her, but she was ready to go and it was up and it was stuck. Now, I'm going to start off by saying that she should have definitely emotionally regulated. And whatever her issue was, she should have just, you know, you always going to get more by being calm and just executing your points. Even if you're dead wrong, if you stay in calmness, you'll come out better. So I definitely know that LARON stirred up some mess. We know that. We've seen him stir mess up. You know, we've seen him. So I think if she just would have clearly articulated things, and Will did a good job amongst his antics when you interviewed him of like kind of unraveling some of how there was a couple of different group chats going on and he's sharing information from one that makes him look away, and then another one also shows another facet of his personality, right? So, or how he's moving in a different way. So we got to understand that because Will was kind of like, okay, well, let me show you this. Let me explain this. Let me go through this for you. So I think whatever Alexis had in her mind or however she felt, whether it was LARON or anybody else on the cast, should have just calmly executed her points, because you're always going to look crazy when you're fighting with everybody. Even if you're right, you're going to look crazy fighting with everybody. It's like you're fighting the air, just like we see Amanda Seals right now. And I'm just using her as an example. I don't want to get into the weeds, but I'm just saying, like, you're just going to start catching strays when you just are so loud and kind of going against everybody. So that is where I think Alexis lost it. And she should have just calmed down. She want to fight with production. Now she fighting with Will. They looking like, hood love about to effing fight. You know, it's like, come on, this is supposed to be your one person, but you fight with him too. It's like, come on. We gotta just calm it down, baby girl. Just calm it down. On the other end, there's something underneath there, and I feel like we might miss it if we don't kind of see like why. If I were Alexis, would I feel the same way? And I kind of did this the same with the Ready to Move season with Charisse. And I feel the same way. It's like when you are in fight mode and you have 1,000,001 people coming at you, it's very, very hard to maintain your composure. And also, I think, and I'm sure you'll get into it, but like if you look at the different ways, like when Alonzo came in there to try to like guns a-blazing, I think he executed that the wrong way. But as this thing started to jump off, I think she has a definite issue with LARON, and then also with KOSHEIA and MIEKA. And MIEKA, I don't know what that blonde wig made her feel like Storm, but she felt like she was gonna slay everybody, you know. And she had some good points, but she was also in slay mode, but a little more calmer than Alexis was. That's my early insight.
I hear it, Deacon. I can't even lie to you. I hear it, Deacon. What's your thoughts to, obviously, the situation between, obviously, MIEKA, Alexis beef? Let me just play a little bit of the clip so you can see it again when you got to here.
You goofy. I never heard you. The people who went home the earliest have the most to say. Like, shut up.
Between the two of them, there's half a brain.
Between the two of them, there's half a brain. What's your thoughts to the beef between MIEKA, Alexis and KOSHEIA?
It was a bar that two brains between the two of you, but I don't like. I had a little piece of cape on for KOSHEIA early on. I always had a little piece of cape on for KOSHEIA, right? And I don't like how KOSHEIA caught some strays, because I know you said it earlier that she was trying her best to just stay calm, let me realize that all that popping off, it didn't work out too well for me. So let me just stay in my frame. She looked real nice, real beautiful. And here go Alexis. And then, but unfortunately, your friends, talk about your friends, they can tear you down sometime, So you standing right beside Storm, and that's what I'm going to call MIEKA for the rest of the reunion. It just popped in my head. She just was a storm. She was going to rain down on me let your love, no, let your hate fall down on me. You know, she was raining down on everybody. So you want to align yourself with somebody that's, you know, a storm, you gonna catch the rain. And unfortunately, she caught some rain from Alexis. Now, I do think, I don't know what the issue was. Well, I do know what the issue was. It's that comment that Alexis made. And I hope that she could look back on, especially how things transpired with her, that the comment that she made about the guys know who to play with, that she could walk that back. Because I think that's the genesis of how they all really started to fall apart with her. You know, also, we know we got that Will stupidness about him laying on the bed. Nobody really cares about that. Patrice, you're playing. I know Patrice knows she's a woman of the world. She knows exactly what a staged home is. She just was throwing shots. And I got a lot to say about Patrice. I'm sorry, bless her heart. But she moved mad in a lot of different ways. Zero accountability. She's playing around. She's doing stuff that's disruptive. But I think ultimately, the whole Alexis thing started with that comment. And I think that touched on a nerve for a lot of the ladies when she made that comment, and it then just kind of like trickled with how she was, you know, transferring information back and forth.
I love that rendition. Let me quickly just, let me say that as well. Bad company, the Bible says, corrupts good morale. So sometimes your company will get you in some situations you wish you weren't actually in. Let me quickly do some resetting of the room. We have almost 700 people in the room at the moment watching us. Listen, it's crazy when you guys join us on a Saturday night. We appreciate y'all, and we appreciate the love and the respect that you guys give us every single week that you guys join us for these shows. Let me just shout out a few people because obviously we have some great memberships who have joined us as well. Linda V has joined the membership. Appreciate you. Patricia Cole, thank you as well for joining. And shout out to Jay Blake. She's been a member for a month as well. And it's always good to see that people have retained and stayed within the Mineral Gang as well. It's Skadachi, baby. I told you it's mad, mad, mad. Are you lean, baby? Okay. All right. But I've got to get some big out thanks as well because shout out to Shanti with the 5 memberships also gifted out. Let me tell you something. Look, you guys don't know that you're answering a prayer as you do these things. You know what? I haven't asked anybody to buy anybody a membership. I've never said that. But I always appreciate the fact that people do want to do that for other people. It shows a grace and a kindness, And that's something that Jesus would do. And I appreciate y'all for doing that. You know what I mean? So love for that and from Shanti for doing that. We also have from our good sis too, Gigi. She also gifted 20 memberships as well. Listen, look, it's a blessing. It's a blessing. It's a blessing. Okay? It's a blessing. Let me play my song. Okay? Here we go like that. Shout out to Aaliyah, appreciate her, R.I.P. But listen, look, we honestly do appreciate around there, I do. And so if you are a member who's joined, it will be going membership only very, very soon. Once the other members of the Super Panel come through, it gonna be going members only. Okay, so okay, all right. So we want you guys to join the membership family because we want to keep that family thing going. Okay, so it's just us, our little community we're building in the corner of our little earth that we have as well. Okay, all right. But listen, if you're here with us, we've got 720 people in the room. Make sure you've liked the live, you're sharing it, and you're subscribed to the channel. At the moment, it's a subscribed only conversation in the chat right now. It will go members only. So if you're not a member, it's £1, it's $1. Honestly, I didn't make it expensive. I wanted to have as many people be able to join without breaking your back or breaking the jar or bringing out the pennies. Okay, all right. I ain't robbing nobody to for this situation. It's so you can be part of the family. Okay, all right. Beverly said, "Add me." Add me to web, baby. Okay, I don't know what you're talking about. Add me to web, baby. Someone said I'm up against March Madness in the States. Oh, and winning. Yeah, that's funny, man. I heard about March. Is that basketball, March Madness? Yeah, I've been because my boys used to go play when it was over in America, so we appreciate that. But yeah, listen, get the likes up. We're on 720 people in the room. Please get the likes up. It just helps with the statistics and the algorithms and all that kind of jargon. But you know what? We're carried by the Spirit of the Lord. You know what I'm saying to you? So even if you don't, the Spirit of the Lord will carry me where I'm going to. You know what I'm saying to you? You may not back it, but the Lord will carry me too. You understand what I'm saying to you? I got that Elijah speed in my legs. I'm going to chase the chariot of Ahab. You know what I'm saying? Whew! You know what I mean? Don't play with me. The scriptures are in me and ready to go. All right, listen, look. You can tell when I was burning.
And we're blessed
Oh.
when we come and when we go, brother. That's it.
That's what I'm trying to say. I'm seated in heavenly places, my brother. Seated in heavenly places. Okay, with my
high,
ride Jesus.
high above.
That's it, my brother. I have every inheritance and blessing already, my guy. Okay, so don't play with me. Don't play with me. Okay, Skadachi, baby. Okay, it's mad in here. All right, look, the ladies are coming through, and so we're gonna get this show underway at the halfway mark, which is beautiful, brilliant time. I know they've got some words. Okay, so we're gonna do it. I'll play the clips so that everyone can respond to the clips, and then you can obviously continue the show as well. Shout out to Linda V, who's been a member for the last 8 months as well. We appreciate you. God bless you. Continue. We appreciate the march onwards. I don't even know we've been doing it for that long. And we also got James Wilson, who's just joined as well. Much appreciation as well. Thank you so much. It's a blessing. It's a blessing. It's a blessing. It's a blessing. Gigi's also been here for the last 9 months. That's how long we've been doing it for. 9 is the number of birth. Do you know that? We are giving birth to new destinies. I'm in it. I'm ready. I can't tell you how much I've been in the war room. I'm telling you, I'm ready to go, bro. New destinies are awaiting me. I'm telling you, blessings for the people that are on this channel. All right, let me get the ladies in, because if I don't, we'll be here and I'll be preaching. All right, cool. Listen, my 2 fabulous ladies in the background. Okay, all right. You know who they are. Okay, all right. But I gotta shout them out. We gotta honor our queens when they come and grace us with their presence on the channels. Okay, the kings have set the precedence and the arena for them, so that the women can come into and begin to flourish. You understand what I'm saying to you? All right. So first, let me shout out. The only way is the C way. You understand what I'm saying to you? The only way is the C way. You know what I mean? Jesus is gonna look at me like, my brother, I'm the only way. But I said, Jesus, you know what I'm talking about. All right. So shout out first of all to the C way. Yeah. What you saying, baby? How you doing? You good?
Yes, what is
you look
wrong?
fabulous, by the way.
Thank you. Hi, guys.
Yeah, you got that glow on you. What, you been reading that Bible or something? What's going on?
I actually haven't. I need to.
I can feel like a little bit of an anointing on you, baby. Look at the beauty's kind of radiating today. I love it.
Oh, thank you.
We appreciate it.
Thank you. I appreciate you.
No
hey,
worries
Sean.
at all. No, sorry.
What's up? And it's the right way, C way is the right way.
It's the right way.
And we do care way. We do care way.
Yeah, we don't care way is my favorite.
We don't care way. I love it. All right, and I'm gonna invite my other fabulous queen as well. Okay, all right, our resident chef. Listen. You don't know. Sometimes you need to cook up the word. You know what I'm saying to you? Sometimes you need to cook up the word. You know what I'm saying to you? You need someone that can bring in the different components of the different ingredients of the word together to make it into this compilation that makes it sweet. The Bible says, listen, the word is like honey to my lips. But when it's interconnected and you've got different parts of the word and it makes sense, your chef is cooking. You understand what I'm saying to you? That's our resident chef. So shout out to Jay, baby. Woo!
Everybody, listen.
What are you telling me?
The tussling and stuff. I don't want no parts of no queendom or nothing like that, baby. I'm utterly out of this world. I do not belong a part of this world. I am a queen. I am not a
You're
god.
right.
I am
You're
just
right.
a king, okay? I don't want no beef.
You're right. You're not even off the mark. That's scripture. Can't lie to you.
Yeah.
Well, you are beautiful, and you are not only just a chef, you are a mixologist, our resident mixologist that sprinkles your wisdom all around, So
I mix it all up, baby. I mix it all up and give you a little something. A little light with the dark.
Just a little light with the dark. Woo! I know it's gonna be tasty, baby. Okay, all right. Oh, I got one of my other queens in the background too. Okay, oh, listen up, listen. I got one of my queens coming through. Listen, she comes every now and again, to grace us with her presence. You know what I'm saying to you? Sometimes she comes in and she sprinkles the wisdom. You know what I mean? Yeah, giving us that Proverbs 31 kind of issue. You know what I'm saying to you? She gets up early in the morning, chasing after. You understand? Doing business at the same time, being a lovely mother as well. You know what I'm saying to you? So I got a shout out to my wonderful, fabulous Lorraine, baby. Yeah. How you doing, baby? How you doing? What are you telling me, baby? You up in the UK at 1:55 in the morning, baby. Bless you.
Yeah, I was like, I can't sleep. So you're on live. I'm like, let's do it, because this reunion was the mess that I was waiting for. So hi, everyone. It's been a minute. Nice to see everyone. Everyone looks delectable.
Lorraine, don't do it like that, Lorraine. Don't do it like that. Don't get Kosha going, please. But you look delectable, my UK sister.
Lorraine, give us a little shake, man. I'm seeing the head shake. I'm loving the little hair, you know. Come on, give us a little. You have to get, oh, okay, baby. Okay. I see it. The baby looking good. Okay, 1:55 in the a.m. I see the Lord has visited you early in the morning. Okay. All right, listen. We're going to get the show underway. Listen, we're going to get the show because there's a lot to get to. Well, I say there's a lot to get to, but there's issues to first correct. Let's start with the first major kind of madness that kind of kicked off. It was Alonzo and Patrice and their situation, and it was a bit of a madness. And somebody was lying, and someone got called out. And that relationship after 3 days, because Jesus died and then resurrected after 3 days, so that relationship also went to pot 2. But he got caught out. Unfortunately, Alonzo was trying to play the game, and he got caught out. So I'm going to play a little bit of the clip for you guys, and then we'll get the conversation flowing for you lot as well. Let me play the point where everybody was like, whoop.
My friends. I ain't never had sex with a friend.
They have been friends. No, everybody calm down. So,
Yes.
you've given this young lady a key to your home.
Absolutely.
All right, guys, my question here to ask you guys is, did we see this coming? That's my first kind of question. Just an open question before we get deeper into the issue of what actually happened. Did you foresee this happening? Did you foresee that Alonzo was going to play Patrice in this particular way? You know what I mean? Let me go to my chef and my mixologist first, so she can start us up with a light, one starter, on the first opening course. Baby, talk to us.
Now I feel like I got a new title, prophetess. Okay, because yes,
prophetess.
No, that's my girl Britt. That's Britt. You can't take her.
Oh, no. Let me leave Britt's stuff alone. But yes. Listen, I'm gonna say a little bit of yes and a little bit of no, and this is why I say yes and no. Yes, I've seen this not really lasting like this. No, that I see it going this particular way, not really. But I've always said this was supposed to be a good time, not a long time for Patrice. I don't know how we got sucked in this far that we are pulling up in unmarked cars at people's house with the key. I don't care if you got the key or not. I live by the outcast rule. I'm gonna call before I come. I won't just pop up over, and I hope that you do too. So with the key or without the key, my name is not on the title. It's not on the deed. I do not live with you, so there's no need for me to be popping up at your house unannounced. That's for one. On the flip side of Alonzo, if we are grown adults here and I'm not really in a space that I want to be exclusive with you, let's not dish out that title to people and give it to them, so early until we make sure that all of our dealings and contractual obligations are fulfilled before we decide we're going to embark on some new endeavors. Okay, we'll just start there.
Thank you for the opening word there, prophetess. Sean, talk to me.
Yes.
Deacon.
And you know who else knew? Just like there was 3 days since he denied her, me and the 3 blind mice that couldn't see saw it happening too. And you know who those 3 blind mice was? Their names was Ray Charles, Stevie Wonder, and Helen Keller. All them 3 blind mice that couldn't see, they all knew that Alonzo was going to do exactly what he did. And Patrice should have known too, but she got what she got. You get what you get, and you can't pitch a fit.
Shout out to Miss Misha.
Thank you. Thank you, Deacon. Lorraine, talk to us from the Isles of Britain. Declare a word unto us. Did you see it coming?
Absolutely. When this man did not, every masculine man that I know has an ego, right? And most men operate in their ego. So when he did not respond in the way that a man in his right sense would operate when she was moving crazy with Chaz, I knew that you are doing something that you should not be doing, or you do not care about this woman. Because if you have sense, if you have self-respect, and you're operating in your ego, you are going to act accordingly. Now, I'm not saying that he should have been toxic and ha-ha-ha-ing, but the way that he should have addressed her to let her know that I don't understand. Why are you moving like this? Me and you have been, you know, talking properly. We have been getting to know each other. Like, and now all of a sudden, in the last stretch, you're trying to get to know somebody else. Relax. Okay. So the fact that he didn't do that, I was like, hold on a minute. You don't really care about her. Like, you don't, like, is this a game for you? So when she was saying like he's been playing along, yes, he's been playing in your face the whole way, because if he really cared, he would have told you that you were moving bogus. And Miss Patrice, like, I thought she was playing along with him until this reunion. For her to go through all the lengths of having conversations with this woman on the side shows me that you were more invested than I thought you were. I thought this was just a little playboy, you know, that you were just having fun with, only for me to find out that your feelings was invested. So yeah, I was not shocked at all. Anyone could have seen this coming, because he did not move how any man or any person in their right mind would move when somebody's disrespecting them in their face.
I mean, I'll be honest with you, I didn't see it coming. Okay, I didn't see it, not this way anyway. I can't lie to you. I didn't see it coming this way. I didn't. But yes, Seaway, did you see it coming?
To be honest, no. I'm not gonna lie to y'all. I was fully surprised when I saw the preview that he was both a liar and a cheater. I think if we're being honest, not looking at it from hindsight, we saw a lot of things, but him being a liar and a cheater, I don't think that was necessarily shown. I think we saw him being goofy, unserious, right? Like that's something we saw, but I was kind of surprised to see this, to be honest. And I'm kind of with Lorraine. I was also surprised to see Patrice act like she cares so much, which leads me to believe that that is also a lie. I'm not sure that she actually cared. I don't think that Patrice wanted Alonzo for real. I'm not sure why she's crying on the stage now. It seems weird. It seems like birds of a feather are flocking together. Patrice and Alonzo are both keeping up some bull crap. I don't know what is the reason to it, but they both seem like they're keeping up some bull crap, because Alonzo was very, very much so unserious. And so you found out that he was unserious, which you should have already known. And then now you're doing all of these things and you're up on the stage crying. I don't necessarily believe that. I was kind of taken aback by her caring so much. I don't think she caught feelings for him, because I feel like she thought she was too good for him the whole time. So, but him being kind of a cheater and finding his way to manipulate this whole like, oh, she says I can't have female friends thing, that was weird. I didn't see that coming. I really didn't. So if I'm just being honest, I did not see that coming.
All right, I appreciate it. Thank you. Now we're gonna get into some real questions, obviously, about the situation. I want to get you guys real in-depth thoughts about the Alonzo Patrice situation. So I'm gonna give you the question, and you can have a little think on it, and I'll just do a quick little spin of the room. Why do you think Alonzo played Patrice? So just have that in your head. Why do you think Alonzo played Patrice? I'm going to come to you guys in a second or two. Shout out to everybody in the room as well. Listen, we have 817 people in the room. It's about to go members only. So if you're not a member, well, then you're not going to comment in the comment section. And listen, the comment section is looking very wavy right now. I can see a lot of comments coming through, a lot of opinions as well. Shout out to you guys who are invested and having conversations in the chat. It's always great to have you guys a part of the show, okay? Let me do a few shout outs as well, because I see a few people obviously been added to the memberships as well. We've got Sybil, who's been added to. We've got Linda V as well, who's been a member for 8 months. We've got obviously James Wilson. Gigi's been for 9 months. We've got E Double. Shout out to you as well. Thank you. We've got Under the Olive Branches, member for the last 7 months. Shout out to you. We always appreciate the long stay members as well. CPerk's been in for the last 6 months. We know CPerk's been in for a long round. You know what I'm saying? That's an OG right there too. And High Vibe has gifted 5 memberships to people. Listen, I appreciate when people also bless others. You know what I'm saying to you? You don't even, and the blessing that you're even giving people, it could be your enemy, but you're blessing them. You know what the Bible says? Bless even your enemies. Look, you don't even know who you're blessing. So we appreciate the fact you do it. Okay, let me play my song. Okay, listen. And then Linda V's got a little comment. She said she wants to say this. Koji, can you say that word? Co-regulator. I got it. Don't even play with me. Okay. Earlier on the day, yes, I was tongue-tied. Okay, the devil thought he had me. Oh, the devil thought he had me. But I came through again. I came back. Okay, all right. You see what I'm saying, Chu? Yeah, these tongues are gonna speak blessings. You know what I mean? Co-regulator. Okay, that's what you're gonna get. All right. So shout out to Linda V. We always appreciate the super chats as well. Keep them coming, and we will add them into the conversation as well. So if you've got a question, if you're in the audience and you've got a major question you want us to answer, then send a super chat. I will ask it. I'm paying attention this time. You know, these times I'm staying in the background now. I'm letting the guys talk and I'm just doing my work, okay? So if you've got a question you want to ask the audience, you want them to ask the members on the panel and you want them to answer it, send a super chat in. I promise you I will bring it up and I'll ask them in that segment as well, okay? All right? But shout out to those who are 800 in the room and strong. We appreciate you, and we're gonna get into this fabulous show, okay? So, like I said, the question I want to ask you guys again once more is, why do you think Alonzo actually played Patrice? Like, what from your perspective, why do you think he actually played her in that scenario? Who would like to take on the lead on this one? Who feels like they got a strong answer? They want to take this on and just explain why they feel like Alonzo played Patrice in this situation. Would it be my deacon? Would it be Seaway? Would it be our chef? Would it be our lady? You know, our queen from UK? Would it be? Who wants to take it? Oh, Seaway, did you say yes?
I'll
Go
take
for it, Seaway.
Alonzo, I think Lorraine hit on this. And I don't know if everybody clocked it, but what Lorraine said is actually the reason. No man that really wants to be with you is so nonchalant about your shenanigans and about you moving around the way that Patrice was. Alonzo also seems to be like one of those kind of men that come off really easygoing but have a little bit of a diabolical streak. He was clocking, if you're paying attention, every single thing that Patrice was doing. He clocked the fact that she was praying with Chaz in the closet. He clocked that she added herself to the roster. He was noting all of those things. He reminds me a little bit of my ex-boyfriend in this way. I wonder if he's like a Leo Virgo, but let me just put it on the Virgo, August Virgo. I wonder what he is because the way he noted everything that Patrice was doing, all to make her pay for it later, to me, dark arts. But even if you take the dark arts out of it, I don't think he ever really cared. Let's take the dark arts out of it. He never really cared enough, which is why people thought maybe he was simping for Patrice or just like being really easygoing. What it actually was is that he didn't care. And so when he got out in the real world, that lack of care just showed up again. Like maybe he wasn't technically trying to mess with the friend that brought him groceries, but he didn't care enough to have respect for Patrice not to do that. So I think that is the reason why. And Jay ready to eat me up. Oh, okay.
Go for it, Jay. Jason, let me finish my sweet.
I had to put a sidebar with counsel real quick.
You're good, baby. You're good.
Had to do a sidebar with counsel real quick. You
No
know,
worries.
she's gonna try to slide a Leo up in there every chance she get, as if this is not Sagittarius issues. Okay, this is a straight Sagittarius move. All right.
We're not that calculated. I wish we were. I really wish we were.
No, y'all really are.
I don't know. Y'all drop in the chat.
You saying that y'all not that calculated lets me know how calculated y'all are.
Badges are not that calculated, y'all. Drop in the chat.
I'm
Y'all
gonna put a poll in. I'm gonna put a poll in for you too.
We are not calculated. I
Y'all
wish
really
we were.
are. Really, y'all are. Look at Nicki Minaj. Look at Jay-Z. Y'all some calculated
She's not calculated. Now,
no, that last album wasn't calculated at all. She she missed on that one.
Listen, the Bigfoot though, the Bigfoot.
That's petty. That's not calculated.
That was not calculated.
Hey.
The song said Bigfoot like 4 times in one line.
Left foot, Bigfoot, right foot. What?
1 foot, 2 foot.
Your foot is Bigfoot.
That's Sagittarius unhingedness. Now I didn't say we were unhinged. I said we were.
Oh yeah. They unstable creatures, but
unstable. No. Yeah. Come on, give us what we got. We are unstable, not calculated.
Yeah, the calculated I would give more to Aquarius and maybe a Gemini.
Yes. And in Virgo.
Born in August. Wait, what are we talking about right now?
Oh, do we?
So the question,
why do you
why do you think Alonzo played Patrice? What's your thought process pattern behind this?
If I have to go off of maybe his reason, I would go with Lorraine and Seaway's thing. And me, my pettiness, it would be along the same lines. If it was me, I've been clocking the things that you've been doing, the way you moved. You have never been fully invested while telling me to be fully invested in you. And so if I were Alonzo in this case, I would be like, yeah, okay, I'm about to move as you move. I'm about to mirror your image. You out here doing the most. So I too will be doing the most. But if you want to pretend like I'm your one, you'll be there anytime I need you. Okay, well, here's a key. So you can be there anytime I'm needed, or you're needed for me, or whatever the case may be. But I'm going to keep my rotation as is, because you have proven to me that you're very unreliable and that I can't trust you, like as far as being actually loyal and committed to what's going on over here. Because soon as somebody else has a problem, guess what? You're going to fly yourself on over there and play superhero in their life. So that's, and I don't know a man in their right mind or unright mind that really wants a woman who's going to be friendly with everybody. You know what I'm saying? So she played herself in the whole game by doing what she did with Chaz in the last minute move. You already over here crying for William, which was William even her connection? I don't even remember that being a connection of hers or whatever. So it's like, you Captain Save It for way too many people. And you only tell me that you will be there if I need you. I just can't see logically why he would did anything less, to be honest with you.
Definitely hear that. Definitely hear that. Sean, talk to me. Deacon, Wagwan. Why did Alonzo play? Why did he play Patrice, you feel?
Look, I don't think he played her. I think they played themselves, and they both was playing a game. Because if she literally was paying attention, like I said, her and them three blind mice knew that this guy was not serious from the very beginning. So she knew that she's been telling us all the clues. You know, she's way ahead of him. She's been living in a house for 15 years. He still has an apartment, but meanwhile, she has keys to the apartment. You accepted keys from somebody 3 days after y'all just left the dating process on a television show, and you already got keys to his place. Yeah, I'm not buying it. I don't know what grounds they set up. So I don't know. He's playing too with that foolishness about she could be my friend, but we slept together 3-4 months ago, but we still friends. His car breaking down and he calling her to help him with the groceries. It's all tomfoolery. Now I think nothing happened in that moment with Alonzo and the girl for sure, but obviously the girl wanted something more, and those two definitely can't be friends, because if she was so willing to give all this information to Patrice, that means she also has a hidden agenda. So everybody's playing. And why is Patrice pulling up to old boy's house in an unmarked car? I'm sorry. And just because I give you a key to my apartment, I've had a key to maybe 2 women that I was in relationships. One wound up being my wife, but the other one, I never showed up unannounced. A key doesn't mean you get to pop up, and you pop up in your second car. So I'm not sure what she was looking for, but that's what you get. That's what you get when you pull up to somebody's house. Just like you start running somebody's phone, you're going to find out. So she must have had an inkling something was going on. So I don't know how did we get here? Nobody's supposed to be here. There's so many songs I could sing. This all sounds silly. And Patrice, as somebody that's supposed to be older than him, it's like, why are you playing reindeer games, baby girl? You should have stick to the rivers and the lakes that you used to. And this is what happens. You know, it's no fun when the rabbit get the gun, because she was busy playing around, praying with Chaz, leaving Alonzo at the park, swinging his feet in the air while she's running around talking about, I'm going to be a sister wife with Vanessa. And then at the 9th hour, you decide you're going to change. And now you want to choose Alonzo because you have more chemistry with him. Why'd you try to pick up? Why are you trying to pick up Chaz at the 9th hour? She was just playing. And I think she got mad that unfortunately she didn't get to continue to play. She got played before she could finish her game of playing whatever she was out to do. That's my thought.
I definitely hear that. Lorraine, talk to me. Queen from England, talk to me. Give us a Queen speech. What happened? Why, extend a bit on what you had told us already.
Well, okay, first off, I just had to touch on something that Shawn has said. In Patrice's defense, there is something as woman intuition, like what I like to call my feminine power. So she knew that something was up. Now, how you choose to act on that feminine power is a whole different thing, because me pulling up is something that I would have done in my early 20s to be like, what's up? What's good? What are we doing? But as a woman of a certain age, when you have an intuition that something is not right, and I don't think it's the first time she would have had it, like, can we act on that like way before so we don't end up in this situation? And to why Alonzo did what he did, but why does anybody do what they do? Like, because he can, because he wanted to, and I think from the first conversation that they had, he likes to roller skate. He out here in his bonnet on national TV. He's making jokes out of everything. Nothing is a serious conversation. Like, that just shows you the kind of person that he is. He's not ready to love. He's not ready to settle down. He's ready to be out in the streets on his rollerblades or whatever it's called, playing games. Like, as a man who's 36, like, it's embarrassing. So it also shows the kind of relationship you would had with him, where it would have been tit for tat. Well, you did this, well, I'm going to show you. I'm not going to say anything. I'm not going to communicate that you've annoyed me or I'm not happy with this. Now I'm just going to one up you and be doing my own thing. And he's going to use the guise of, I was just protecting myself because she was playing in my face. No, you don't have the authority or even the emotional maturity to have a conversation with somebody, to say when you're not happy with something, and to keep it moving. So it just shows for me his emotional immaturity. That's why he did it, because he's still 13 in a 36-year-old man's body.
I hear it strong. I hear it. All right, listen, my second question is, a little bit more facetious, but why did, because I thought, Jay, you mentioned it earlier as well. I was asking myself the same question. Why did old girl pull up in an unmarked car? There's two things here. The fact that Alonzo saw the fact it was an unmarked car and wanted to mention it to us meant that he was also looking out for her. But the fact that she pulled up in an unmarked car at 10, I don't know what that is about too. What's your thoughts on this particular perspective, Jay? Pulling up in an unmarked car, a little bit of dark arts, it seems like it may be. Talk to me.
A little bit of dark arts could be, but unfortunately for Alonzo, she drives cars. It could just be one of the cars that he's not familiar with. She could be coming off of work. I don't really know. It's just the fact that it was a car that he wasn't familiar with, and I'm just going off of his words because he wanted to highlight that for us, that he didn't recognize the car that she pulled up in. It's kind of hard to say in this case. In a normal case, you're trying to catch somebody. You're trying to pull up and catch somebody. So I don't know for sure what she was actually trying to do in this moment. If this was just after work and I'm just in this car, I'm in this area and I'm just in this car and I'm pulling up, or literally, you know what, let me take this car to go find out what's going on over here. But like I say, you play stupid games, you win stupid prizes. If you want to pop up at people's houses, be prepared to hurt your own feelings. That's all I'm going to say. I don't care if you had the key and all, you got the open door invite. I still advise you, if your name is not on the deed and you don't have like literal clothes hung up in a closet, you live there and you take showers and bathe and your toothbrush is there on a regular, don't pop up at people's house without unannounced. Just announce yourself coming over before you do, unless you're trying to find something and she found something.
Go for it, Seaway. Yep.
I think we're having trouble recognizing arrested development and childish behavior in women. Patrice, just like I get down on Chaz, Patrice is in her 40s. She's a whole mother. What of multiple kids, I think. What she was doing is also a sign of arrested development. That's the reason why she was even entertaining Alonzo to begin with. Why are you pulling up at people's houses that you've been now in an actual post-show relationship for 3 days? But let's just give her credit for that. Let's say she was just popping by because she thought they had an open door policy and they didn't need to whatever. Then after you already see enough, right? Enough that you want to see. I don't want to go too far if you're going to bring this up. But linking with the women that he was supposedly dating, not one of them, not two of them, but three of them allegedly. Was it not one bear, two bear, three bear? Why? That's very childish. It's very odd. And to me, it just feels like, are you actually upset, or are you padding your case so you can actually, like, for sure, like, not feel bad that you're about to get rid of Alonzo the way you wanted to get rid of him to begin with? Very, very childish.
Listen, wasn't she also running around cleaning up LaRon's house and rubbing on his feet too?
That's pick me and childish. More pick me.
That's what he told us when he was. I mean, I took bits and pieces because you know when LaRon gets to bumping them gums, you gon'. But he said it, and she ain't denied it. So I'm gonna take it for true. The little birdies that are chirping tell me it's true. You know, so I believe it to be true until I hear otherwise. Allegedly. But at the end of the day, look, baby girl, I just don't. It's too much. It's like a Tubi movie. I just don't understand. After 3 days, you pulling up unannounced. You backtracking. You doing, your CSI, talking to the other girls, putting your evidence together. It's like, you doing all of this for what? It's like, ma'am, what happened? Like, I just seen you, in your nice dress with Chaz, looking all good. I just seen you a week ago introducing Chaz to your mama, right? It was the mother and another family member. Meanwhile, Alonzo just got the brother who low-key shaded him, let Alonzo tell it. Some more happened in the conversation, but he's low-key played him, calling him goofy. I don't know what the context was. I'm just saying, like, how did we escalate? How did things escalate so quickly? I just am really grasping at straws to understand. Now, what I will say is that Alonzo does not understand how to just, I would have been all the way on his side if he'd have just been like, yo, I kind of started to feel some type of way. I do like her, but then I started to think about and reflect on some things, and I got a little petty. I would have been able to be like, okay, you owned it, and she actually kind of deserved it. You know what I mean? But for him to double down, still talking about this friend, she's really a friend, that's not a friend. And then, Patrice did her CSI, found out they slept together some months ago. So it's like, bro, you're not doing yourself any service. You have to own something. This whole choked and spanked, I'm just so tired of hearing about it. I'm tired of hearing about it. If he would just understand, it doesn't make you a bad person to admit that you made a mistake. But I'll end on this. Patrice and him are the same person, because she could not, for the life of her, that's why they wasn't going to work no way. Whether he was doing grocery shopping at the 7-Eleven or not, with his ex-baby mama or whoever that lady was, they wasn't going to work out, because neither one of them can admit when they're wrong.
Yeah,
they can never admit when they're wrong.
They both do too much. And they both do too much. That's a question. Why do we got to go for coffee dates with the side chick? Wouldn't a call have sufficed? I mean, I get it. You want to call, right? Because Alonzo is a bona fide pathological liar, right? He gonna lie to you in your face. So you want to know for sure. So why we got to go for coffee? Why we got to go to lunch?
I mean, if you don't really want this situation, why do we need to find out facts? You got what you needed. You seen him with somebody, that's all you needed. You could have just gone on about your business. I don't.
Because you like him.
Kojo, you really think she likes him though?
I'm gonna have to say the D must be top flight. The D must be top flight.
I'm not convinced she likes him. I think Patrice is different. I'm not sure we know she actually likes him.
I think she like him.
Does she like him, or is she mad that a dude that she gave a chance played her? Which one is it?
It's both.
A bit of both, though.
It's both. She definitely liked him because nobody cares that much to do all this research if you don't have a little bit of like to the person. She gotta, I'm not saying she was in love with him, but she definitely liked him.
The reason I know she like him is that stuff that happens later on in the episode with Leylin, Alonzo, and stuff, and none of them was paying her no attention. And she just was like, well, he's free. You can have him. It's like Leylin never said that I have eyes for Alonzo or anything like this. You just threw that in there. So only people that feel some type of way, and this is not even about being played at this point, because if you be played, you just move on with it. But this is because I actually had some feelings and you played me. So.
I mean, listen, I hear you guys. I think I do hear you. I think there's a mixture of different answers here. She liked him. Maybe she didn't like him all the way, but she liked him. Liked him enough to not want to get played. You know what I mean? Like, hey, ego's ego, man. Do you know what I'm saying to you? Whether you're a man or a woman, especially if you've been playing the game yourself. Chose a young one, thinking to yourself that maybe you got him. You got yourself a little young cub. Can train him up. Bring him in the ways of the world, you know what I'm saying? The Bible says train a child in the way to go and he will not depart from it, but the guy obviously departed from it, you know what I'm saying to you? So obviously it happens that sometimes you wanna train that person up and think to yourself, oh, I've got this one locked. And unfortunately, they will not conform to the patterns of this world, okay? So it happens, and sometimes you don't want to get, because you thought you had it, now you got to find out if they play the game so that you can also get them back a little bit. Do you know what I'm saying to you? That's why she delivered it so coldly at the reunion. You know what I mean? She kind of, I can't lie, she handled it kind of coldly, like not in a bad way, in a good way. Like, she was like, I'm gonna let you talk, and then I'm gonna break it down and say what I've got to say about your situation, and I'll let the people know that you was a damn liar. Do you know what I'm saying to you? So I definitely, I definitely understand that too, as well. So yeah, that's an interesting one as well, in that situation. Let's talk about the three. Oh no, I don't know. Lorraine, did you have a point? Go for it. Sorry, I missed you out there.
Say, can I add my 2 pence?
Yes,
in?
you can. You can add 2 pence, 50 pence if you want.
Right. I was just gonna say, for when they had that first conversation, and then she was like, "Do you like roller skating? I love roller skating." Like, that just told me everything that I needed to know about our dear sis Patrice. Because why are you putting on that voice? Like, must you act young? The fact that she had to go into a chameleon every single time she would hang out with Alonzo, dressing all young, and then when she'll be with Chaz, she's dressing all respectable. It's like, you like younger guys. So what do you think is going to come up with from younger guys? Do you think they're going to be ready to settle down? You are asking him, what's the plan? What's the plan? He's 36. Not that people in their 30s should not have plans, by the way, but the way that this generation is going, majority of people who are younger don't have a plan. Okay, so like, what did you think was going to happen? So for you to turn up, it shows that you are in the mindset of somebody who's younger. That's why you go for younger guys. So when she said, "Do you like roller skate?" I just knew that you are young, have a young mentality, right? Because why are you making a thing like you're so proud of going for younger guys? Because you don't want to be dealing with somebody who's mature, who's going to put you in your place. You don't want to have to be grown, because you're out here driving in unmarked cars, going to pull up at Alonzo, who is not even your, like, what are you doing? What are you doing? For me, it was just not making the irony of wanting Chaz because he's set up and, he's got a plan and he's wealthy, allegedly. But at the same time, you're also messing with Alonzo, who doesn't have a plan and is childish as heck. So, like, make it make sense. You get what you give. You want a younger guy, so you're going to get childish games. And it also shows that you want to play childish games because you was ready to pull up in the unmarked car, because that's what you do. You're childish, you play games, so that's what you're attracting as well.
I just keep hearing the Monica song in my head. I can't get it out. Song is a jam. You know the song, Kojo?
Depends which one you're talking about.
Yeah, it's a song, and that's one of the silly of me. I should have lost my mind.
You have to probably sing it to make it make sense.
I'm not let somebody else do that.
I was about to. The silly of me. I just forgot the words, but drove by in the unmarked car. I told you that's what I said. She acting like Gunica out here. Driving by in the unmarked cars.
We'll play it for you in the afterlife. We don't want to get you demonetized, but the song slaps. It hits.
Mm-hmm.
So go on. Yeah.
I said, no, Monica.
All right, play it for me. I'll probably recognize when we play it. All right, one last. No, that's not the last question. But question, obviously, then, obviously, was about the 3 girls. Let me play a little bit of a clip for you guys, so you guys got a little bit of a perspective on that as well. So I think it was just here. It might have been. So let me see if I can get this clip for you guys, if it'll play.
Sleeping with other women. That's so reckless. He has been getting STD tested.
Thank you. Right.
Hold on.
And I'm not a gossiper.
No,
and
he's not a gossiper. He's a liar.
I just wanted.
Okay, so he said another gospel, but there was a part I couldn't play because obviously I couldn't go long enough. If you listen to it all the way through, he actually does say he told her about the 3 women. So I want to know whether she's using this information to try and finish him off, or whether actually this is actually something she found out, like, you know, out of the blue. Because he actually did say to her, "I told you about the other 3 women." So I don't know if that's the situation, but I want to ask you guys, what's your thoughts on this? 3 other women. You know, did she really get played if there's 3 other women? Like, do you know what I mean? If I'm telling you that I was sexing 3 other women, you know what I mean? Hey, listen, some of us got dark lives, so let me not even say anything. But some of us started that way. So, what's your thoughts on this? 3 women, you know, saying girl. No, we're not. But 3 women. What's your thoughts on this, ladies?
Listen, I got a little bit of cape on my hoodie, right? So I'm going my cape's going to flap a little bit for Alonzo. At least he's responsible. Because she said he's getting STD tested. At least he's responsible, you know? So he's taking whatever, you know, he might be moving, sticking and moving, pun intended, but at least he's careful. That's what I think. I don't think we got to hear the full chop up of whatever happened. I don't know. I really wanted to hear it, but they just kind of chopped it up. And then Patrice called him a liar. He said he's not gossiping. I think there's more context. So I wish Alonzo, you know, when you're part 2, if he still grants it to you, I want to hear all about that, because that needs to be cleared up.
Definitely hear that. Lorraine, talk to us, Queen.
I just think it's neither here nor there. Whether he told her beforehand or whether she just found out. Either way, he's playing games. Either way, he's unserious. Either way, she's dealing with somebody who's unserious. So it just goes back to everything that we've all been saying, that they're both unserious and they're both playing in each other's faces. So either way, it doesn't really matter.
Totally hear that. I don't know if Seaway is there. Seaway.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I just feel like he told her just so he can say he told her, so he can get away with doing whatever he want to do. So I don't know.
I mean, I hear you. Can't even lie to you. I hear you. Go for it, Jay.
So my thing, I would have more questions. You know, I would always have more questions. So when did he tell you? Was it before or after the announcing of the exclusivity of it all? And then when I did my SHAWN impression of reading the definitions of a word, it also put in there, you can be exclusive to a group. So was this supposed to be the group you were exclusive to? and you're now pissed off by the young lady who wasn't introduced in the group. I don't know. It's just too many questions that I have to ask to figure out what's happening here. Because if, and I didn't hear that part, but if that is true that he actually said, I have told you about this, it sounds like you're using this as more of an excuse now to have a real cop out of the situation. But then it's like so hard to believe because these people like to tell a little bit of truth with a lot of lies. And it gets real hard. Like he dismissed the girl prior to her saying, hey, I had a sit down with this girl, to come to find out in May, y'all messed around. And then it's like, oh, well, yeah, we messed around. But just a second ago is we're just friends. There's nothing else going on between us. Now we're friends with benefits. So it's hard to be on Alonzo's side fully, even if he did tell her, because he's not being straightforward in this moment right now. If you told her about the 3, why is it hard to tell her about this one? Why is it hard to admit this one right now in this moment? You know what I'm saying? So how did you tell her about the 3? That's another question I would have to ask. Was this 3 of, oh, I was messing with 3 people before I came on this show? Or I'm messing with 3 people still in this current day and moment, and I would like to add you to my rotation. So I'm not bothered by the fact that she was over here talking to Chaz and all these other people. Please keep your options open. It's just a lot of questions that I'm trying to figure out. These people just seem to be playing right now, and the easy out was to blame it all on Alonzo to make herself look good. But you played in the circus with him, so you still a clown. You still a clown.
Definitely hear that. I wonder if I can get a clip to play it. If it will play, let me see if it will play.
To respond with
And a
all of that extra
deceiver.
stuff.
So let me ask y'all this. Is there any salvaging this?
I believe when some...
No, I missed it. I think it's earlier than that. I'll try and find it for you behind the scenes. But he does actually say, like he told her. I think it's a voiceover from what they were saying. But yeah, no, quickly, just obviously, last question for this actual section is that, yes, he did lie and told a lie about the situation. I want to get your thoughts on this lie. the fact that he told the fact that he said no, nothing happened with the girl, and then suddenly he had to double back because she called him out. I want to get your thoughts on this lie, on the situation. How do you guys feel about it? What was your thoughts? You know, I want to get your thoughts on this lie that Alonzo decided to tell. Alonzo lie, you know what I mean? Alonzo gonna lie. What's your thoughts on this, man? What's your thoughts on this? Who would like to take this up? Who would like to take this up on me? Sean said he ain't even looking this way, but he turned his head, so you can go for it, Deacon.
I'm distracted because there's Alonzo did a live where supposedly he talked about some things on his IG, so I'm trying to watch it. So what was the question?
No beef. Listen, I was just saying that obviously, why the lie? What's your thoughts about the lie that Alonzo told Patrice?
Oh, about that the woman that was his friend that actually wound up being somebody he was friends with. Yeah, no, that he's bogus. You know, I'm not even going to play silly. You know, that's bogus because you know if it's your friend and y'all already been intimate, you can't do that. And then he tried to. We're gonna use the word. He trying to gaslight, like, oh, you're gonna tell men can't have friends that are women. No, bro, you can't have a woman as friends with you that you just were intimate with a few months ago. Like, what are you doing? And not only that, you have her in your one-on-one again with her in your place. It's like, are you trying to tempt fate? And meanwhile, hey, brother, you for your own good should not be doing that, because guess what? She ain't really your friend either, because she sold you out. As soon as old girl, she don't know old girl from a can of paint. As soon as, I'm not gonna call her old girl because that can actually be interpreted as rude. So as soon as she saw Patrice, who she don't know for a hot second, she tells everything, right? She's telling all your business. She probably is the one that gave the information to some of the other women that that he's supposedly dealing with, right? So this is why you don't play yourself that close, because even if your mind is over and you don't want to move on, obviously this other young lady has some feelings, because nobody that don't have feelings for you is just going to be telling all their stuff, you know? And she obviously wanted to probably ruin whatever little thing you and Patrice had. She wanted to squash it. So she made sure she put the kibosh in it. She's probably the one that fed all that information about the STD testing, you know, all the other women that he's running around with. But meanwhile, she's sitting there taking him to get groceries. So this is the irony in it all. You know, his car broke down. She's taking him to get groceries. And what they doing? Unpacking the groceries together? You know, there's another word for groceries, right? You know, there's another term that we know about, that what we do with groceries, that's something else. But I'm just going to leave it there.
Well, Sean, maybe she had the key to the back door when Patrice had the key to the side door, and that's what she mad about, because she thought she had the only key and Patrice thought she had the only key. So they got to compare the keys to see if they both working for the same lock or not. You know, I don't know how many doors the studio apartment got, but it seemed like there's a lot of keys out there in the street. My guy be a little clumsy with the keys. I think he'd be losing them all. He got to make sure some people have some keys so he can get in. I don't know what's happening, but at the end of the day, this is where the immaturity really comes in for Alonzo, because when you in your adulting phase of life and you are a single adult, you start to learn that you can be honest about a lot of things. And this is one thing I like to try to tell men a lot of times. Just be honest about the things that you're going on. You'll find out a lot more women will actually deal with the stuff that you have going on if you're honest about it, than a little bit. And that's the funny truth about it, because you're now giving them their option to make the decision on themselves. And you also take the blame off of yourself when it comes down to it, because you can also say, hey, Ma, you knew what I had going on from the jump. You signed up for it. Don't look at me when it hit the fan. Okay. You knew what was going on. So it's best to go ahead and just tell the truth up front. Let a person make the decision whether or not they want to continue to deal with you, and then move forward from there. Y'all not gaining anything by telling lies to one another. So if you're not lying to Patrice about this friend in that moment, you're now on this stage lying to us all in public, and you get caught up only because Patrice sat and had this talk with this girl. Had she never sat down and had this talk with this girl, you will still be on the stage talking about, that's just my friend. Okay, Biz Marquise. That's just your friend, and y'all was just effing around in May while the show was going on. So why, from May to whenever time this reunion is aired, or whenever time she decides to pick you up for the groceries, y'all still in contact if that's just your friend and y'all don't have nothing else going on since then? Because if I left it alone in May, I left it alone in May. And at 10 o'clock at night, we doing grocery shopping with just a friend. You couldn't call Patrice. She got keys to your house. She could have probably dropped the groceries off before you even got home. We know she over here doing the other people. Okay, that's neither here nor there. That was what LARON said. So, you know, and as Elsie said, you couldn't Uber, DoorDash you some groceries or whatever. You couldn't do none of that. You couldn't even take an Uber to go get your own groceries. I don't know. But since you can't do any of those things, you at least should be able to tell the truth. Hey, that was my friend. We used to smash or whatever. But if there's nothing, this is my biggest thing right now. If there's nothing going on in that current moment, if y'all smashed in the past, it should be able to say, yes, we had our arrangements in the past, but that's not what we on. She was just the closest in the area. I needed groceries. She came and picked me up. Period. But because he was stumbling, fumbling, all in that moment, y'all still messing around. Now this lady over here watching the show pissed off some more. See what I'm saying? Like, you pissing more people off. This is crazy. I don't know. I can't. These wannabe adults is killing me.
Anyone else want to add to that the lie Alonzo told? No?
Okay.
Go for Lorraine.
Alonzo had a plan before he came to this reunion, and he thought he was going to do 4 + 4 = 8, right? He thought he was going to go into females' insecurities to be like, oh yeah, because you can't handle a man and a woman having a friendship. That was his plan all along, right? Well, Mr. Alonzo, that's not the issue here. The issue here is that your friend is the one that you recently had sexual relations with? Do you not have any other friends? Do you not have any other family members who could have done it for you? Like Jay said, you could have Ubered it. That's a whole nother thing. And secondly, when the truth then came out to be like, actually, you slept with this woman, he was like, it was only the one time. It's like, I'm going to be crude a little bit here. It's like when you find out that a guy has cheated and then they're like, well, they only gave me oral sex or something like that, right? Like, cheating is still cheating. Like, you're saying it like it should make it any better that you only had sex with her in May, right? I would just much rather you just be honest. Like, Alonzo, stand up. Just come out and be like, do you know what? She was my friend and, we did do a little thing and, actually, but we are really good friends and I don't want to lose. Like, come out and be honest and either apologize to be like, I should not have disrespected you, or stand on business and be like, I did what I did and what? Like, I would respect that more than coming out to be like, well, you're insecure, but actually it was just that one time. Like, which one is it? Do you know what I mean? Like, you're either gonna stand on business and like just, do you know what I mean? Like, be the actual villain. If you're gonna be a villain, right? Don't be lukewarm. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, if you want to be like, who's the villain in that Batman film? Him. You know what I'm talking about. Or are you gonna be the Joker? Do you know, like, choose which one you're gonna be. So he thought he was gonna eat, but he didn't, because he didn't really think his plan through. And I think he does this a lot in conversations when he's talking. He's literally so fixated on what his argument is going to be, and he doesn't know how to then move along into the conversation to be like, okay, now that we're here, how can I divert? You're going to be so fixated on your original point, and that's where he freaking gets lost. He reminds me of my daughter. Like, when my daughter is upset, like, she just so fixated on, like, why did you take this away from me? Like, I have already moved on to a whole other thing. Like, we're talking about something else. And she's still annoyed that I've taken her toy away from her. Like, that's literally what Alonzo does. Grow up.
I'm definitely hearing this. Points are being made, baby. Points are being made. So I definitely hear you on that as well. So why did you pop up like that? What's wrong with you, Deacon? What's up?
I just listened to the first 10 minutes of that live that Alonzo dropped on his page.
Where is it? It's on his page.
It's on his IG page. Yeah.
Let me bring it. Listen, we listen. We're a panel here, baby. Well, let me just quickly bring it up. Well, the first 10 minutes, is it crazy? Is it an explanation?
It's wild, bro.
Oh, please, we want to hear it.
How wild are we talking about here, bro? Let me bring it up.
Well, at a certain point, you're gonna have to stop it because he brings up the R word, and you're not gonna be able to bring that in your channel.
Ooh,
so,
why is
police
he going
reports
there,
were filed.
Huh?
Police reports.
Yeah, we need to drop that. We need to
stalking
on the reunion. Wait. I'm confused. Is he talking about the reunion?
He's referencing the reunion, but talking about some of the behind of the scenes things that happened between him and Patrice and a bunch of other people. But the first 5 to 10 minutes covers, him and her.
Oh, baby.
Yeah, because I can't. He's private, so you should bring it up because I can't see it.
Let me see the first 10 minutes. We'll just do the first 10 minutes and we'll do a separate live.
Yeah, no, LARON, Alonzo isn't private. It's Chaz. Chaz has a private IG.
Yes, Jay. What were you gonna say?
No, I was gonna say just see in the background how far you can get before you can have to stop it, maybe or whatever.
Yeah, I'm gonna play a little bit of it. We'll play a little bit of it. I'll bring up in it.
But I know why you pulling that up or whatever. There was an old IG that started in almost like before the season started or somewhat early in the season where they were, I'm a black man in Dallas, all this stuff like that. And Alonzo's Black Man in Dallas kick was, I'm a black man in Dallas. Of course, I'm on the Facebook pages of did you sleep with my man or whatever that page is or whatever, where you find out if we all sleeping with the same man and stuff. So I'm like, you're kind of proud about this too. So
he becoming more and more problematic every day. Okay, we'll play a little and see what going on.
Here's the post.
Is this the one, right, Sean? All right, cool.
Reaction after the reunion. If you watching this, that means you've already seen the reunion, but this is actually the next day. And I just wanted to unpack a few things here. And for one, well, it's October 12th, right here, 2023. We been did the reunion. That was the 11th. And I'm going to send this email to myself so y'all can see it. And I'm going to date it. I'm going to show the date and everything. But a lot of lies was said. Choked and spanked. Never called that girl immature at all. Got the text messages where I was trying to move forward with the conversation and she kept going back to it. The PATRICE exclusive. We tried to make it work at the end of it. She wasn't giving me no respect that I had told her throughout. She totally changed throughout the process. And it got into a point to where it was like, all right, now I've jumped too many hurdles in your mind. Allow me my peace. And to find out that the whole time she was talking to William since the brunch. She told me we was exclusive and she stopped talking to him the day that he got eliminated on the getaway. So I just find it funny that each and every time that I tried to speak, I always had an interjection from somebody. You know, it just, for some reason, you know, nobody wanted to hear the truth, which is fine. And then bringing up the other girl, I wanted to get to the bottom of it because she was slandering my name. And I was just trying to understand why. I have text messages of you telling me that you're going to stalk me. I have all of that information. And I don't mind. People can say whatever they want. But when it got into the rape, she tried to make it seem like I raped her.
He about to go somewhere. Ooh, he about to go somewhere. I knew where he about to go. He about to say something he shouldn't say. You know what I mean? Oh my God. So he's saying she's crazy. Does he talk about it much longer, Sean?
I didn't get too far past that. I had to stop.
You know what? We'll do a separate live and I'll listen to it before I play it. You know what I mean? Before I trigger people, and I don't want to trigger anybody. Get him.
There's a police report that was filed to cover his name to protect himself. This is what he says, according to him.
He filed a police report. Okay. I mean, the William thing makes sense to why she was running around crying at the house, because we was kind of confused. But like I say, these people be mixing a little bit of truth with a whole lot of lies. So I need to see the police report and all this other stuff. I'm not saying that she ain't did it, because she got a lot of cars to be able to do these type of things in. So
I think this tracks though with what I was saying earlier.
Mm-hmm. Go for it, Sierra.
I mean, even from what I'm seeing, even not getting into what he said at the end, it's very clear that he was peeping her nonsense throughout the process. Now we're adding William, who we didn't even bring up, right? But we know about Chaz, and her adding herself to Chaz. Alonzo was aware, and clearly they weren't showing it, but he was speaking up about how is it supposed to be me and you, and you're talking to William, you're talking to Chaz, you're doing all of these things. He did not like that, which is fair, right? And so when they got off the show, I'm pretty sure he's like, you worried about this lady bringing me groceries? That's where he starts playing. But it's like, how could you be mad at me when you've been cutting up this whole time? And this also tracks with Lorraine and I. I think Lorraine and I can't remember, Lorraine, you tell me if you didn't, but what she was doing on the reunion is cap. It's cap.
Well, to be honest, see, if it can't be too cap, if we have to do police filings and all that stuff like that, we a little too far in the like. Then we got some other issues going on.
Oh
so
no, that is real. That part's not cap. The cap part is she tried to make a whole production.
Oh yeah,
Out of the girl thing. So Alonzo didn't have enough time to air her out. Because if she didn't make a production about the women and the dates and this and that, he would have had enough time to say, Patrice, how are you so butthurt about me, but you was having a sneaky link with William? Patrice, how are you so upset about me when you was putting holy oil on Chad's head down to the closet? Patrice, how are you so worried about me? He didn't have time to say none of that because he was too busy answering to the groceries of it all. That's why it was a production.
Well, see, he fell into the production of it all because he could have still stand his ground and said, you worried about this girl while you doing the most too.
You know, he can't talk quickly with that list. It be slowing him down. That is really the problem. Because if he would have got his words out, he would have been able to say that. Patrice knew exactly what she was doing. She was very calculated. She was trying to take over the conversation. You know how people do your interviews, Kojo, when they don't want their stuff aired out, so they start taking over your interviews? That's what she was doing.
Not the takeover spirit.
Takeover spirit.
Whew. Any more thoughts on this? But before we shift it, Lorraine, you want to add?
I mean, whether it's true or not, I'm not surprised either way, because I think we've all been saying that Petty Patrice here is capable of, you know, some of the things that he's alleging, you know, because she's on the same level as him. They saw each other, they peeked each other, and she just beat him to the punch. So they were both playing some kind of game. Feelings maybe got involved, I don't know, but at the end of the day, Patrice beat you to the punch. And because you're so caught up on let me you know, justify myself and protect myself in terms of this girl, you couldn't even double back to be like, actually, let's go back to how you were moving. Because me, I would have been like, okay, cool, that we can get back to that, but I need to get out what I need to get out to make sure that I'm not, you know, overshadowed by what you're talking about. So yeah, I'm not surprised, to be honest. I'm not saying it's true. I'm just saying if it is true, I'm not clutching my pearls to be like, oh my God, I don't think she'll do this, because she comes across as quite petty and childish, just like he is.
Any other thoughts, guys? No?
I think we need a prayer intersection, Kojo. We need a prayer. We need an intercessory prayer. We need an intermission prayer, which is not even a thing. We just have to reset, because that was a lot to take in. I'm sorry.
I hear you, bro, and that's a good deacon as you are. You're absolutely right. Let us reset the room with a prayer. Father, we thank you in the name of Jesus, oh God, for this opportune time that we come before you. I know we're doing a super panel, and I know that we are entertaining and educating at the same time. But Father, we just want to pray that, Lord, that you reset the room. Let your spirit come through, and just begin to just anoint the room and just reset us, God, Father. We just pray that you'll present us joy and happiness in this moment as well, Lord. And I know it's a little bit heavy what we just discussed. Father, we pray that you lift the burdens. The Bible says that your yoke is lighter. And so, Father, we just pray that, Lord, that you'll begin to change the narrative in these next few moments as we go forward into our next topic. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen. Amen. Listen, I hear it. All right, listen, before I go to the next part, obviously we've got 1,100 people in the room. Shout out to y'all. Y'all turn up to talk about the reunion. Big love. Again, as well, quickly want to add, just obviously some people obviously feel good. Shout out to you for adding the 5 memberships to other people. We appreciate when people bless others. You can't understand how I feel about this. I really do appreciate when people are blessing others. Okay, all right, yeah, keep on blessing people. Feel good. Shout out to you for blessing 5 other people. It's blessed to give than to receive. Okay, the lesser is blessed by the one that is greater. So if you're blessing other people, the Lord knows and sees, my friends. Okay, all right. Many people left their houses and homes, but the good Lord said it will be returned to you plentyfold. All right, so Saturday 365, also shout out to you for joining the membership. We appreciate you so much. Life of Bill also joined the membership as well. We appreciate you guys who are joining the family. If you haven't done so already and you're in the chat, there's 1,001 of you in a room. Join the membership. It's like £1 or $1. It doesn't break your back. You know, as well. We just want to create a lovely little membership team and keep things within the family. Okay, I'm gonna play my little song though. Here we go like that. Yep, I know that takes you back to your days, but you're saved and sanctified now. All right, cool. Listen, let's bring the next topic on, because like I said, obviously, before I play
And
anything,
actually show you who they really, really are.
Hold on, before I do, because we don't move them from them, so we're gonna move on to Willow situation with Patrice. That was quite interesting as well. Let's play a little bit of this clip here. Play this clip here. There we go.
And on the countertops, he must be sleeping on the floor. And that's why I said what I said.
So let me ask you this, Patrice. Now that you're learning that stage is a lot more broader than what you think, do you regret saying what you said?
No, I think he could have been a little clearer.
Anyway, quickly, let's talk about this. Will and Patrice. Let's address those two. The issue of him lying on the floor. Like the man of Bathsheba who couldn't get into the pool to be healed. Let me get your thoughts on this situation, because Jesus said, "Take your mat, rise and walk." What's your thoughts to the fact that Patrice wasn't going to change her mind when it came to the fact that the stage home, she was incorrect about that? I want to get your thoughts on that, and then we're going to shift it to obviously the MIEKA, the Alexis, and the KOSHEIA beef in general. What's your thoughts? What's your thoughts to this? What's your thoughts? Okay, I want to get your thoughts on this. Your situation between the yes, Lorraine, go.
I'm gonna be like Jay, and I've got questions here, right? Okay, so you're staying in a stage home. Me too. I wouldn't take it back because it's still giving broke. Why did you have to put your stuff in storage? Okay, do you own this stage house? Right. So why are you having to stay? Are you in between houses? What is the situation here? So me too, I'm gonna say what I said. It's giving broke. Whether you're sleeping on the floor, whether there's furniture in the house, it is a staged house that he is selling. It's giving you a realtor, and you're selling in a house that you shouldn't be in. Like, do you own that house? No. So I wouldn't take it. I know a lot of people say, "Oh yeah, she's not being accountable." Well, I don't have to be accountable if I said what I said and I mean what I said. Like, it's giving broke. The fact that you're having to mention how you me and my riches and your sir, please. Like Mieka said, that chain is giving fake and broke. Like, you are not wealthy. Stop lying. Stop lying, because if you had it, you don't have to speak on it and we would just see it. So yeah, I would stand on it too. I wouldn't take it back. It's giving broke, and I said what I said.
Does anybody have an opposing opinion? Or is it all given? Okay, yes, Sean. It's all given.
Kinda. I don't want to tussle. But I think two things can be true. This is going to be I'm just going to sit on this imaginary fence all night. But I think two things can be true. I think all the talking and filibustering that Will does amounts to he may not have as much as he says he has. However, I think Patrice made an assumption, and you know what happens when we assume, because she assumed that he was on the floor. Meanwhile, he wasn't. He might have been in a financial position, or he might not have been. Maybe, he's developing the house. He has an appointment at 6 a.m. in the morning to meet a contractor. So rather go back to where he lives, he'd rather stay in the house that's already staged. You know what I'm saying? So that's his preference. He owns the house. He can sleep and stay wherever he wants to stay. So I just think she, when somebody wants to be messy, she just chose to be messy. And instead of saying, you know what, not that my opinion of Will changes, but maybe my understanding of the scenario was an incorrect assessment. And I think she would have just done better to just admit that she was wrong, because it makes her look less than smart. If you're saying you don't know what a staged means, what is a stage? It is a setup with props on it, right? So even if you don't know what a staged home is, and you could tell by the look on somebody's face, like, I know when somebody looks like, I'm playing dumb for the moment. Patrice knows full good and hell well that house had furniture. She just don't see it for Will. And she thought, let me just give him a little jab and let me be a little messy. And it played with her friends, because all the other ladies didn't like him for their own reasons. And, they could have been but it just helped. It didn't do anything to eliminate him off the show. It was just something else to talk about. And unfortunately, she was wrong.
Thank you, Sean. Lorraine looks like she wants to hit back. Go on, Lorraine. Reply back to it. Go on. Serve the tennis ball.
I really don't want to tussle with you, Sean. I really don't. But no. Okay. He doesn't own that house. Okay. Like, let's not give him the benefit of the doubt that he wanted to be closer where his stuff is in storage. Why? Right? I'm gonna need proof that you own that house. Listen, I will eat my hat if I'm wrong and he actually owns that house and plenty other house. He doesn't. He's a struggling realtor. That's what he is. And he had nowhere else to go, and he had keys to the house that he's selling. Let's not do that. Listen, I am not usually the one to drag people, but it just how condescending and uppity that he was. Like, somebody just has to literally bring him down to reality. He is in the clouds. Listen, I am delulu as they come. I am a Pisces, okay? So I understand dreamers. He's probably a Pisces too, and he probably believes he's done his own damn lies. So let's not cape for Mr. William here. Was it William or Will? Whichever one. Let's not cape. Like, you're choosing the wrong person to cape for. He is a brokey who is pretending. Right? He might as well be Tisa Reese's ex-husband at this point, because you are lying and you're believing your lies. He is delusional. Sorry, like, I get really offended by broke men who pretend to be something that they're not. So this is why I get really upset and emotional about it. So please, Sean, please do not tussle me on this, because I will go all night. I literally will.
You got it, baby girl. You got it. Take it.
She said she don't do with a brokey. I hear it. Yes, Jay.
I'm scared to get in here because I just want to referee the game. I don't want to be in the match. I mean, it is giving broke five broke. Will ain't got it. Okay. I'm sorry. A realtor developer who is staging homes. I'm in confusion. Okay. If he wanted the clarity, he should have said it more clear. I do agree with that point, but I do also agree with the fact that she could take accountability that she may be wrong. However, she still do need the proof that he wasn't sleeping on the floor, because if I'm in a stage home, am I really sleeping in the bed? Is it really a bed there to sleep on? Like, is it really like, is it just propped stuff there, or what is it? He might need to have some pictures or something to prove that he is in the bed. And I'm sorry, like, a lot of stuff that he was saying didn't really help his case, because like Lorraine said, his stuff is in storage. He's in transition of properties and all this stuff. Like, it's not giving Clay from Love is Blind. Clay had a whole house we seen, and he might have stayed at some of his properties because it was closer for him to get to work or whatever he had to do the next day. That was more believable than this scenario. And so generally, and even with Clay, it's not, I'm about to set up a pilot, or I'm not about to do any of this stuff like that, or whatever she said that he said. It was, I'm staying at this house. And generally, if I'm staying somewhere, I'm not about to say I'm about to make a pallet, a mat, or whatever, unless that's what I'm doing. So I don't know. For somebody who is a millionaire, I think you should be able to articulate what you mean a lot more better, I would assume. But, you know, I ain't a millionaire, so maybe that's probably why I ain't, because I'm too busy trying to articulate. I don't know.
Yes, Wayne.
You know, I just want us to I want Black people to be freed from these chains of needing to act like we're just getting so much money, to act like we need to put on and showboat wealth. And it's like chains that are on us that I want us to break. And I've noticed that this entire season or whatever. And I think it's because when a man says his limitations, he's made fun of, right? And then on the flip side, then you got people who are not showing their real limitations and are lying, and then they're being brought down a peg, right? Because that's what happened with Will. And I just find it both kind of just unfortunate. Even from Chaz saying that he's wealthy. Again, I don't want to speak to his money, but wealthy is it's a very specific word, and most people will not ever qualify to use that word. And I thought it was kind of annoying that in our community that was being thrown around so willy-nilly. I thought that was just kind of ignorant. And then when it goes to Will, even when you asked him on your interview, Kojo, I think it was brought up, right? Or somebody in the comments asked, was he flipping houses, right? Like, was he? And he kind of looked down on flipping houses. And then they were asking, well, are you a real estate agent? And he kind of looked down on that. And it's like, well, Will, that's kind of why Patrice went out of her way to humble you, not saying it was right, but she went out of her way to embellish humbling you because you're not really telling the truth. If you were flipping houses, which we all understand, it's quite possible that maybe if you were in between your own house, you could be staying in the house you're flipping, which, to be honest, whatever, because it's your house, you own it, right? But you say you're not flipping houses and you're saying that you're not a real estate agent. So what are you doing? Because if you're a real estate developer, it's quite odd that you are staying on the floor of a house, because do you own it? That's just confusing. Usually when people use the term real estate developers, in America at least, you're talking about people that go in with other people with money and you develop vacant lands, or you develop areas of maybe depleted areas, and you tear down houses and you build up multiple houses. That's when people use developer. Usually people who are house flippers or real estate agents or real estate broker, they're not using that word. It's a very specific word. And I think he was being vague about it on purpose. And yeah. So did Patrice add a little juice to it? Yeah. But I also feel like on the flip side, right? Not all of these men are gonna be these get money dudes, right? If a dude has a regular job, like he's like the teacher, what's his name?
Justin.
If he's like Justin, or if he's making an honest living or whatever, you know, I'm not saying that needs to be the person you're with, but like, don't put those dudes down, because you need enough dudes to go around. Like, not everybody is going to be these get money dudes. And I think trying to make it seem like everybody's going to be this get money dude, you're going to create a lot of men who are faking it, right? And I think that's where Will comes in. I don't know. I feel like I'm talking like it's a circular thing, but I feel like there's reasons why Will doing what he's doing. It's because he doesn't feel like he's good enough saying what he actually does. Like, sir, what do you actually do? It's pretty amazing, says panel. What do you all consider wealthy? I consider wealthy to be when you got like, I can piss off money. Wealthy is like, not if you miss a year's salary or 2 years salary, you're going to be affected. So when you think about wealthy, most doctors, lawyers, engineers, dentists, things like that, unless they own like a very successful practice that's making a lot of money, those people aren't wealthy. And even if you own a successful practice, if you need to keep up that practice to actually survive, you're not wealthy. Like, I think people are not understanding. Like, there's a very small, wealthier people that literally, if they stop working today, they would have enough money sitting in brokerage accounts, offshore accounts, inshore accounts where they don't have to work. That's wealthy. Most people are describing people who are well off. That's not really working. That's not wealthy. And the problem is the middle class has really disappeared. So I think people are kind of confused what that means. But most of the people that we tell kids, oh, you want to grow up and be this, they will never be wealthy. So
That's a very fair point. I'm not mad at it. You know what I mean? Although I think on our live he did say he was a developer. He develops homes. He did come to that conclusion. But I don't think I fully understood it. If I'm honest with you, I don't remember fully understanding. But I know definitely he said he develops homes. I think he showed us a picture of him developing a home, and you know there was a wall in the house, whatever he had to fix, or whatever. So he develops homes. He takes certain properties and then develops them and builds them up. And that's what he was saying. I mean, listen. I mean, if he does have money, he's new to money. That's why he's bragging about it. But also, we have to be very aware that when someone says they are a multi-millionaire, okay, sometimes they're not talking about the profits. They're talking about the turnover. And there are many people that have businesses that actually turn over the million, but they don't have the profit of a millionaire. Do you get what I'm saying to you? Right? So like just my time just kind of spending the last few weeks and just listening to certain people that do business and everything like that. When they're consultant, when they do their consulting, there's a lot of people who actually have million turnover businesses, but they don't have millionaire profit. So he may be a person who turns over millions because of the properties he turns over. If he sells a house for 300,000 and sells 4 of those, it's over $1 million, right? You developed it, you did it, but what profits did you get? Because that's the difference, right? So that the reality of the situation is many people can do work of businesses that can turn over that $1 million turnover, but it's the profits we're looking at. So, you know, listen, I'm not going to, I don't know if he has got the money or not. What I do know is that I don't trust people that talk about their money like that. That's just me. If you talk about money all the time like that to me, you ain't got it. That's what it sounds like to me. You know what I'm saying, Chu? Like, I'd rather just see you move. You know what I mean? He may very well have it, but I'm not a person that believes people that talk too much. Do you know what I'm saying to you? Now, was he sleeping on the floor? I'm not going to go as far as saying he was sleeping on the floor, but I would say that obviously, you know, I would be concerned if you tell me you're sleeping in a stage home, but I would have asked more questions. Like, sleeping in a stage home, what does that mean? Like, you know, like, does that mean you own a home already or whatever, blah, blah, blah. I'd have asked more questions. I'd have been curious. If a girl I liked was talking to me and I would be like, you say you sleep in a stage home. What does that mean? Like, does that mean that you don't own your own home or whatever? I'd ask more questions to qualify what actually happened. That would have been my perspective, rather than just assuming. But like I said, they didn't like him anyway. I think you have to be honest about it. They weren't asking because they didn't like him. So in reality, whether he slept on the floor or he slept on the moon, it didn't make a difference. They don't want your ass. Okay, so you know, he's there. Any last points on this point before I move on to the girls' beef with each other?
Yeah. Somebody in the comment, I just saw somebody said that he only mentioned his wealth when Patrice came for him. Well, that's a lie, because his intro was him being chocolate, handsome, and being wealthy. So he led with that. So if you're going to lead with that, people are going to dig more and to question more. So what Patrice said, to be honest, isn't really relative, because we already had this assumption based on what he's saying, right? And to be honest, just kind of taking a piggyback of what Siwe has said. For me, I believe that wealth, there's wealth, status quo wealth of, you know, people who have wealth depending on society's standards of wealth. And then there's also wealth of like wealth of time, freedom, and all that kind of stuff, which, you know, also includes money. But I don't believe that you have to be earning a certain amount of money for you to be wealthy. Like if you want to get to a point where you're comfortable and you can pay your bills and, you know, without struggling and all that kind of stuff, and you consider yourself to be wealthy, that's fine. Like, I just think that you shouldn't have to be shouting over the rooftop about it. So my thing is not that, oh, he's not earning this amount and he needs to be earning this amount. My thing is, whatever wealth it is to you, kudos to you. I'm really happy for you being wealthy, but you don't have to talk about it. You don't have to scream about it. And even if somebody comes for your wealth, if you yourself know what you have and who you are, I'm not going to argue with somebody with what I know. Like, I'm not going to have to prove myself that I have this or I don't have this, because I know what I have. I don't have to feel validated. It's like he has something to prove. He wants to be accepted. You need that validation because society says that men are supposed to be financially stable and rich. So if I'm this, then I'm going to attract a certain kind of woman. Like, well, if you lead with that, you're going to get a certain type of woman. Do you know what I mean? Like, yes, you should be financially stable and responsible, but what else do you have to bring to the table? Like, what kind of man are you? You know, what's your character like? So, yeah, wealth for me is absolutely relative. You don't have to be a millionaire, whether it's turnover or profit. I don't really care. Like, just don't scream about it.
And I think this is an interesting conversation because it's a couple of things at play. We're talking about wealth, we're talking about rich, we're talking about millionaire, we're talking about jobs. I think we're also talking about socioeconomics because we're talking about class, because that's also different, right? Somebody could have all the money in the world, but from a class standpoint, how they were brought up, what they're, you know, how they socialize, how they behave, how they travel, how they dress, all those things play into class and our notions of, you know, like the hierarchy of how we look at them. So I think Will very well could be a person with money. However, as we look at some of the, you know, the people that we see that are rappers, right? A lot of them are wealthy, have a lot of money, but on the surface, they're very showy, you know, so they do a lot of things to promote their wealth because maybe it's new for them. Maybe they never thought they would be there. So now this is the first time they've had money. So they want to, you know, really go all the way to the top and prove it. So I think there's a lot of things at play. I don't know his bank account. I don't know his pockets. I would say it's safe to say he has some money. You know, we've heard a couple of people verify it, but I know a couple of people asked this. You guys know I love a definition. So the definition of wealth is to be considered wealthy. Your assets must be more substantial than your liabilities, with them generating an income large enough to cover your fixed expenses. So that is a general exception of wealth. Now, some people talk about generational wealth and all these other things. That is one of the universally accepted definitions of wealth, which I just read. So
I'm not mad at it. I definitely hear you. Y'all going in with that still, and I appreciate that. Let me see. There was a quote here under the olive branch with the $5. Super Chat said, Will wasn't bragging or trying to prove himself until Patrice did that. That's what I feel like. He really is just defending himself. And someone said, Saturday 365 said, Will is Tommy on TV show Martin. God damn. I mean, that's a comparison. You don't want to be compared to Martin. Listen, Kanika Sims, shout out to you becoming a member. JK, shout out to you becoming a member as well. Really appreciate y'all. Thank you for joining the family and the team as well. We got over 1,100 people in the room who are enjoying the great show. Listen, if you're here and you haven't joined the membership, it's £1, $1. Join the membership, okay? All right, don't be silent in the chat, baby. Don't be silent. You want to join in the festivities. You see how it's going in the chat, okay? They're enjoying themselves. Come down and enjoy yourself too, all right? And if you haven't subscribed to the channel, make sure you subscribe, you like, you share. All right, because we appreciate you guys here. The good Lord is working a work over here. I'm telling you, we're going with God's speed, okay? You see how Elijah ran past the chariot of Ahab? That's how I'm running this season, okay? All right, don't play with me, okay? All right, I'm going to be like Moses with a shiny face coming down for the mount, okay? Don't play with me, okay? All right, cool. Let's move on to the next situation, because obviously the ladies had their tussle, and it got a little bit messy. It just got a little bit messy, so let's
never got the opportunity to speak to Will.
So are we saying Alexis was giving information to Will that came from the lounge?
And what did I tell you from the ladies' lounge? Why you got so much to say?
Damn. Now, the ladies' situation turned into a little bit of a beef. KOSHEIA didn't get to tell Will about himself, and I'm sure she would have told him about himself. It wouldn't have gone well. I can tell you that now for sure. At her current state that she was in that moment, but it sounds like she's been accountable on this part of the season, and I'm not mad at it. I'm glad here for growth. But obviously, KOSHEIA, MIEKA, the beef, with each other at this point in time. I want to get your thoughts on this. What did you guys think? Because it turned a little bit at that point. I want to know what your thoughts are, guys. Sean, talk to me. Lead us away, Deacon, and all the ladies in.
Yeah, Mika's Storm. So Storm was ready to go, and you could just tell. I guess she was tired of Alexis, because she was like, "Why are you doing all this talking? Like, just she was killing me. But I don't know why Alexis was agitating her so. I guess she didn't want to hear anything. And I think sometimes people get like this, like you got your narrative. And I think MIEKA, you could tell MIEKA was just she was locked in her narrative. And anybody saying anything opposing, it's like, nah. I don't even want to hear you right now. So it's like, you don't even get to have the person, they don't get a chance to hear, to say what they need to say, whether it's clear their name or dig themselves deeper in the hole, because MIEKA was done. I wish we could have had this conversation fleshed out a little more, because I think, and you covered it earlier, is like KOSHEIA was getting to something. And I think she was talking about how there were things that she wanted to have accountability for when it came to Will. And then she wanted to be able to clear up some things directly with him versus Alexis already going straight to him before that could happen. So that's what I think.
Let me just interrupt our daily scheduled news. Purpose Builder and Developments. Let me on to help educate the people, because our people are clearly misinformed. Well, you know what? Listen, should we give him 5 minutes to clear himself, to clear his name? Okay. You guys have to agree to that. All right, cool. Will, if you want to come on, let me send you the link. I think I have you on Insta. I do, yeah. You just sent me a message. Okay. Would love for you to come and clear this message up for us as well, and just clarify quickly so we know, because I am intrigued to find out, because you have said you're a millionaire, and we just want to be able to understand it. So link is there. Please do pop in, and we'll definitely get that conversation flowing as well. Lorraine's already got her snack, so just like myself, we ready for you. Lorraine, talk to me. KOSHEIA, MIEKA, Alexis, the beef. I know you're chewing. Just take yourself a second. No, don't rush. Don't rush yourself. Don't choke. We don't want you to. I don't want my participants getting hurt here. Okay, all right.
No choking spanked on this channel.
That's what I'm trying to say. I mean, we don't want no trouble for you, baby. Okay, all right. The good Lord said, finish and chew your food. Oh my God. I'm a changed man, people. I'm not spanking anything.
Backstage.
I'm not spanking anybody. I'm changed, okay? I can't think like that, okay?
Watching the corner code.
But yes, Lorraine, KOSHEIA, MIEKA, Alexis, they had a beef. They had a situation. They had some problems. It got a bit techie. MIEKA said, Alexis, you're talking the most I've ever heard you talk. KOSHEIA obviously got a little stray as well, because she said, you two there's only one brain between the two of you. I mean, that was kind of if that was a bar, that was a bar. I can't lie to you. I like that kind of insult. It's a bit intellectual, but I want to know from your perspective, what did you glean about the ladies getting into an argument that they did, and how they got into it?
Yeah, it was very evident that there was an ongoing beef that preceded this reunion, probably through when they were filming and everything. Something obviously happened between those three. So I personally would have liked to see that unfold. Like, what happened? Why don't you like each other? Like, what did Alexis actually say to Will that caused the issue? Like, what happened amongst the females? Like, I'm all here for the tea and like the one-liners, but actually let's break it down and understand what the problem is. And like MIEKA, I absolutely love MIEKA, but for her to say that people who got eliminated early have got so much to say, like, what do you think this is? This is not the people who made it on the bridge reunion. This is the Ready to Love for everyone to have a chance to say what they need to say. It's kind of giving, like, why are you giving the attention to other people and not me and Justin? That's how I took it. I might have been wrong, or it might have been just because she was throwing jabs. But in her throwing jabs at Alexis, she's also throwing jabs at everybody else who got eliminated early, which I would have found disrespectful if I got eliminated earlier than that. So that's something that I picked up that I didn't really appreciate coming from MIEKA. So yeah, I didn't really understand the beef, to be honest. They just started insulting each other, all based on Alexis asking, like, what did I say to you, and all this kind of stuff. So it just showed that there was something deeper. So I would have just like to know what that is. Like, what is the beef?
Definitely hear you. Anyone want to go quickly before I get Will to explain himself? No. All right, let me get Will on. If you got questions, panelists, get them ready. Okay, we can ask him. We're gonna keep him for maybe no more than 15 minutes. We'll get him to speed up the answers real quick. We want short, sharp answers, no long things. Okay, all right. Master Will,
What's going on, boss?
how you doing, Captain? Listen, it's good to have you on here. We've got about 15 minutes. We want to nail some things down, get some things really clear and corrected real quick. First question, I want to nail it real quick. What do you do for work? What's your line of work? What's your career? How do you make your money?
No, for sure, man. It's super easy, man. So I was listening in on and off, so I'm not really sure the whole context of the conversation, but I was reviewing the comments, and it seems to be some confusion on like what I do. So I heard a comment of someone saying that I don't know, I'm a struggling realtor or whatever the case may be. But to clarify,
Don't worry
even
about
further,
that. What do you do first before you get to that point? What do you do? We just want a straight answer before you answer that person's question, and I'll let you answer it. What do you do so they know exactly what you do straight away, so we can nail that in a bed?
Yeah, I'm a real estate developer. So essentially what I do is I buy land throughout Dallas-Fort Worth, Texas, and I build modern new construction homes.
Okay.
That's in its lamest terms. So I buy the land. Let's just say the land costs $50,000, $100,000. I go to the bank, right? And the bank finances my deal. And the reason they're able to finance my deals is because I had the experience, because I've been doing this for quite some time, right? Because I've been doing it for quite some time, I'm able to get access to $100,000, $1 million, whatever the case may be. Whatever I need to build a home, I build it. I build it for $500,000. I sell it for $1 million. I make the difference.
Beautiful. Beautiful. Okay, so second question is this. Obviously, you stayed in a stage home. I want to make it very. I want to clear it out there. Why did you stay in a stage home? Why do you own your own home? I know it's a bit intrusive, but since you're here, we want to clear it out why it is here. You know what I'm saying? This is no disrespect. I just want to clear it up. You know, why we're sleeping in a stage home, and are we sleeping in a bedroom in a stage home? And also, why we're not staying at our own house? What's the reason for that? Just to give you a bit of context to that.
So I own multiple homes. So what I typically do is, if I have like multiple stage homes, right? At any given time, I can have 2, 3, 4 homes that are being staged or that are staged, right? As it's, being put on the market, waiting for someone to buy my home, right? So if an individual looks at my Instagram, they can clearly see I own all my homes. I work with all the top realtors in the industry. Any realtor that you see on my page, they're actually verified people, right? Like you can look at a Ben Wegman, who's a viral realtor on social media. So a viral, like known realtor is not going to represent a home or someone who's a fraud, who's not doing the dang thing in the business, right? Like someone who sleeps on the floor. Let me see. So let me turn this camera around. Can you turn the camera around on here? No, you can't.
I don't know, but you're good. We can see you.
Hold on. I know you can see me, but I'm trying to see like how I can turn my camera around. But regardless, someone who sleeps on the floor, and I heard the comments. They say, "Oh, new money versus old money." At the end of the day, I'm me. If I can reserve the right to be flashy if that's how I want to do things. That's me. I come from the hood, whatever the case may be. I might be a little flashier, more flashier than others, but at the end of the day, I have financial wealth. I drive what I drive, right? I had to come outside of this restaurant just to clarify things.
Is that a Rolls Royce? Oh, is that a Phantom?
My
or
Rolls Royce. My Rolls Royce.
Oh,
Okay, so for whatever reason, people you like to do these little narratives, do these little weird things, and they don't really know the real. You look at this TV thing, right? And they do these edits, these weird edits, and they try to paint whatever narrative they try to paint to get more people to, I don't know, watch their show, which is cool. I know I'm a verified real estate developer. I drive a Rolls Royce. As you can see, it's mine. So it ain't rented. The keys, there's no rental on here. It says Rolls Royce Dallas. Hold on, let me see. Put it in the camera. So
I'm not smart enough to know that. I don't know if rentals say rental on it. I'm not sure. So I don't know if they say that. But what I want to ask you though, Will, is, whilst I appreciate that, why is it, just a short answer, why is it that you do always say that you are, because even on the live that I had with you, you always say, I'm a millionaire, I've got money, Why is there the constant need to keep updating us that you do have money?
Well, the reason is because you got people in these comments saying reckless things. What they don't understand is there's a human on the other side of these comments and what people are saying. When people are saying things that are false, that are not correct, that are not true, I reserve the right to defend what a person is saying, whether it's on Facebook, whether it's on YouTube, whatever channel they're promoting false information, and especially when an edit comes across trying to state some type of weird reality, I'm going to chop back. Regardless of, I mean, everybody was raised different. Some people feel like, oh, well, if you really got it, you shouldn't have the need to defend yourself. I'm gonna defend myself. That's just me. Some people can call it ego, people can call it immature, people can call it whatever they want. It's just the way that I was raised. You know, I'm gonna checkmate stuff. That's just what it is. So for me, I'm gonna always respond and put it in people's face, like, because it's real weird how someone can say something when they don't have a pot to piss in. They don't got 100,000 in their bank account or $1 million. So it's just weird with these comments of people saying malicious and weird things, and they don't even know me. They've never went to my Instagram.
So can I ask a question? It's my last question on the money situation. Last question on the money question. Obviously, listen, I said earlier on about obviously people can have like £1 million turnover. It sounds like you are probably somebody who's going to get £1 million turnover because the properties and the houses and the land. You have to go and get obviously loans to be able to develop that property. But the question is, I want to ask a question. You don't have to answer it. But the question is, when you say you're a millionaire, are you saying that because of the fact you turn over millionaire properties, or are you just saying that because you actually are a millionaire? Because if you go and say that to me, I'm going to be asking those kind of questions, and I can understand why the ladies might have felt some type of way. So is this millionaire turnover, or is this millionaire as in you're able to keep that kind of money? You're able to have that as a profit. You're able to. Someone said net worth. That's probably a better word, right? So, you know, how would you describe that? You know what I mean, for your perspective. Again, you don't have to answer it, but I thought I should ask you.
Oh yeah, I can answer it. It's my network, right? Like just to educate everybody, right? Because I think a lot of times I don't have these issues with my white Persasian brothers, right? When I say white Persasian brothers, white folks, I don't have these issues with white folks. It's only our people, because you know our people die for a lack of knowledge, right? We're so misinformed when it comes to, you know, what wealth is, what it looks like, what it doesn't look like, and you start to hear these things. Boy, if you have money, then you wouldn't be doing this. White people do the same thing. But when they do it, it's just, oh, it's motivation. You know, it's something worth for me to like on Instagram. But when a black person does it, oh, you should be quiet. Why you gotta flaunt what you got? I reserve the right to do what I want to. It's my money, it's my life. But to answer your question, I'm a millionaire by net worth. At any given time, like right now, I have about 4 deals right now, right? I may have you know, I might have bought it for $200,000. But when we call it after construction value, right? Not after repair value, because I'm not a remodeler. I don't remodel things. I buy land and I build homes from the ground up, right? So at any point, once I sell a home, right, I can build it for 400. I put 400,000 into it, right? I bought a land for, let's just call it 300,000. And I have a sales price for 1.8. This is a real live scenario in the deal. I'm gonna make a profit somewhere between 700 to 900,000 after I pay my realtors and title fees. Okay, I have multiple properties like that in the works right now, on top of stuff I've done in the past. That's all verified on my social media. Now, some of the other cast members, I don't know. I can't speak for the past cast members. I can't speak for whoever the case may be, but I know me. I'm verifiable. You can look up Purpose Builder and Developments on Dallas, on DCAD, right? The county tax appraiser, and you can see it. Will owns this property here. You can Google the dang address. And if you Google the address, it's going to link back to Purpose Builder or whatever the case may be. And I had a whole bunch of other LLCs that, you know, you don't put everything under the same LLC, right?
Yeah.
Because for legality reasons, right? If you get sued, that makes no sense to have all your properties on one LLC. So I got probably like a bunch of LLCs. But just for the LLCs that you can do your research purposes on, right? The audience, right? People on the panel, individuals that are in the comments, they can literally, I can give you an address right now.
No, you're good. You don't have to. I get it. No, I get it, and I appreciate you even sharing that, bro. Don't worry. You don't have to say anymore. I just wanted to get that answer.
More education for the people, because a lot of people don't understand this realm of thinking. For some reason, people think that what I do is only a white man's job, right? Only white people can do what it is that I'm doing. That if it's coming out of my mouth, that for some reason, oh, he can't be doing that. Oh, how did he afford to get into that? Or how is he doing that? He talks this way. It's real estate development. You don't have to have a Harvard degree to do what I'm doing. You don't have to have a degree from Oxford, MIT, you know, whatever the case may be. If you understand construction, right? The real estate construction process, if you have people skills, if you know how to lead a construction team towards a specific goal, right? You have divine creativity, right? Like, I'm really good at what I do. My Instagram can show you all the designs I've done myself. All these modern homes you may see on my page, but stuff that's went viral on Instagram that I built. This is real deal stuff. This ain't no make believe, fairy tale, whatever the case may be. You can look all this stuff up. I'm verifiable. But I hate that I have to keep saying this because for some reason, if I was a white person, then I would get a totally different reaction. But it'd be from your own people. And it's the weirdest thing in the world.
Maybe,
Like,
maybe from the show. I don't think the panel would have had a different reaction.
Yeah.
I think the reason why people are having a reaction to you, and I think I can happily say this to you, you got an arrogant energy. I can't lie to you. I want to put it straight so it's down the line.
I do
when someone comes that kind of energy, yeah. So when
it's
people
not
are
arrogance in
rich,
sports. So like when you come from where I come from, you got a lot of naysayers, right? You got a lot of people that for whatever reason, you know, like for instance me, I might have been doubted my whole life. Not to use it as an excuse, but I had that confidence, that swag that if you understand people from South Florida, you know, you kind of like got a little flashiness to you. But it is what it is though. Like it's not like to, you know, to down the next person. But when I start seeing other people saying wild and malicious comments, I'm going to defend myself. And it's going to come off as arrogance. Because in my mind, it's like, how can this person say this when I know I got money to them? They don't even know me. They haven't even got the chance to even do their research on me. They're just looking at a weird edit on a TV show, which is TV. They're going to do what they do. They're going to edit it how they edit it. I can't control that. I don't work for you.
Sean's got a question for you. Sean's got a question for you. Go for it, Sean.
I don't know who the show is.
Sean's
I'm right here, bro.
Oh, Sean. You said Sean. Oh,
yeah, sorry. My bad. It's me, my English accent. Yeah, Sean, go for it.
So 2 questions. One, I'm a car guy, so I love the Rolls Royce. I just want to know, do you have the Starlight headliner in there?
Oh, I do, bro. You want to see it?
Absolutely.
Let's ride, bro. I ain't going, boss. I'm just in my car, bro.
Nice.
Jeez.
Okay.
Can't hit on
and
that.
Kojo, if you don't know, well, you should know a little about Rolls Royce. That's your, that's from your homeland. But that is one of the most expensive exclusive options on the in the Rolls Royce family. My next question is, so we were trying to like hypothesize why you had to spend the night in your property that was staged. So can you tell us why you had to, were you meeting somebody in the morning, or was there a reason, or what was the reason behind you having to stay in the stage property?
I don't know if he heard that. You might have to go again, Sean.
Did you
hear us, Will?
I think he went out when he got in the car. It might have picked up in his Bluetooth.
Master Will? I don't think you hear us, Master
John,
Will.
the question is leading.
Zoom, zoom.
Oh, God.
Zoom, 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 zoom. Yes, William.
He's pulling off in the Wraith. Yeah,
he's back. He's back.
Probably the Bluetooth did it when he stepped in the car.
Master Will, can you hear us?
Yeah, I'm back. Yeah, now I can't.
Fantastic. Sean wanted to ask you a second question. Yeah, I think the Bluetooth took it. Sean wants to ask his question.
Every time it does the same thing to me. When he steps in the car, it's going to throw up his Wi-Fi because the cars usually have Wi-Fi and Bluetooth. So, can you hear us, Will?
That's what happens when
for now, I
step into your Rolls Royce.
Okay.
That aluminium stops.
My second question was, what was the reason you had to stay over in the in your property that night?
Yeah, it was simple. At the time, I was moving, so I had just moved out of my apartment. I was going through, when if you know anything about the show, I'll just kind of clarify. You're doing 15-hour to 18-hour days on some days. That's really all you do for about a month, depending on how long you stay on the show. We'll call it like 6 weeks, up to 6 weeks, maybe 8 weeks, depending on how far you go. So I was in one of my stage properties, staying the night at one of my stage properties. Super simple. I own my properties. I own all my stuff. I'm not renting anything. I own my property. So if I want to stay the night at one of my properties, which is fully staged, and if anyone knows anything about stage, it means you have furniture. You have a stager that comes in and they stage your property. They put furniture in it. Furniture that I pay for, right? And if anyone knows about staging, you got to pay a couple grand to stage your home, right? You're paying anywhere between $3 to $5 grand to have people stage your home to get it ready to be sold. So I mean, it's really not uncommon. If you own like 5, 6 homes, you want to stay at one of your houses, you own it until someone buys it, of course. But I own it.
I get you. That makes sense. Yes, see, you have a question for him?
Yeah, so with this, the fact that you own your properties, which I think was the gray area, no one understood that you own these houses. That wasn't clear. Why did Patrice hate you so much that she would tell everybody that you were sleeping basically like you were a squatter? Like, what was the reason? Because the reason why you're getting so many of these comments is that you very clearly explained it here, but even on the show and afterwards, it's
TV,
still
they
you're a
don't edit it
squatter.
right. Like I explained it to them in real life, in real time. I did explain that, but how they edit it, they cut out majority of the conversation and they ball it into a 10-second, 15-second bite-sized conversation. So now I can't speak for Patrice. I don't know what went through her mind. I don't know. I don't know if she hates me. I haven't talked to her since. But whatever the case may be, I can't really explain why Patrice feels the way she felt. It's confusing to me. But like I said, our people die for a lack of knowledge. And a lot of people don't understand what real estate developers do. And I get it all the time because I'm a young black man, I'm 32, and I'm making millions of dollars. For some reason, people don't believe that a young black man can have a Rolls Royce, can build $1 million properties, profit $500,000 per sale, right? It's just unbelievable, which I get it. It ain't a whole lot of people that look like me that's doing what I'm doing. And it's actually the real deal Holyfield. But hey, I can't speak for Patrice. I don't know. All I know is what's going on in the reality of Will. I can't speak for the reality of Patrice.
That's fair.
She might have misinformed me or misinterpreted.
I appreciate Will. Before you do go, I do have a question. I don't know if you, okay, Lorraine has a question. Let Lorraine ask the question. Go for it, Queen Lorraine. Ask Will your question.
It's not more of it was a question and a statement. So I'm the one that said that it's giving broke realtor. So I'm a very accountable person. So I'm going to apologize to you because you clearly own your properties and you're successful in your own right. However, the reason why I gave you so much smoke, and I still have maybe not a very great opinion of you, is like what Kojo says, that you come across as very arrogant and like you have to prove yourself. Like even coming on this live to show us, like, listen, I'm very happy for you and congratulations. It's that energy that you have where you have to prove yourself and validate yourself. And it's not that there is a lot of people who are successful and who are millionaires and who are making a lot of money, who are black and who are young. They just don't talk about it. They just don't have to validate that they have this wealth. And even if people have something to say about them, they
rappers
don't
do it all the
have
time. What's the difference between a rapper doing it or an athlete doing it? People
I'm gonna be honest with you.
time.
Rappers don't do it because rappers don't have it. Rappers aspire to have it, so they talk about it. They put it in the atmosphere. It's supposed to be manifesting it, but a lot of them don't have it, and that's the thing. Most of the people
put it on
that
their Instagrams. Yeah,
they don't have it. They put it on their Instagram, but they don't have it. When they get it from the AR or whatever, when we doing videos, we want to flash the money and all this stuff like that. But from person that works with a lot of people that's in the industry and all this stuff like that, they don't actually have it. They have investors that have it. And sometimes those investors let them borrow the money to flash around to seem like they do have it. They have people that buy them and loan them change, and they put that all in their contract, and they have to pay all of that back. So they don't have it. It's called manifesting these things or whatever. But the people that I know that are like lawyers, doctors, and all these things that actually do have it, they don't run around advertising that they have it, because the world that we currently live in looks for those as targets. And you as a hood, somebody that comes from a hood, you should know that advertising around the hood is a lot of times the way to get you set up.
No, absolutely, but I don't hang in the hood. I hang in well-established areas, like for instance, the restaurant that I'm at now. I got my car valeted in front, right? I don't hang nowhere near the hood. I hang nothing but well-established areas, white areas, right? I live in the suburbs, right? Where I own my property. So I do understand your point. If you move,
I'm gonna pray.
Something liable can happen to you if you move
I'm gonna do it like this. I stay in Cali last year, and during the pandemic, that area in Cali and what is that? Beverly Center. That's a rich Jewish area. All those riots and everything was going on. These people that was running up on them was white people that was running up on other white people, stealing their Rolexes and all of these things like this. It's not just no longer a safe neighborhood anywhere anymore. People are getting desperate enough to go venture off into other spaces. So I'm just saying, as you go forward in life, I would scale back a lot of things, because I know people that really do have a lot of money, and I'm not saying that you don't, but they really do have a lot of money, but they don't drive around in fancy cars. They drive around in Subarus and reliable cars. And they do have the BMWs and all that stuff from when they're going to do their business deals and all that, but their everyday car is not the flashy Rolls Royce.
This isn't my everyday car, ma'am.
I'm not saying that it is. I'm saying I don't know you. I don't know what it is. But I'm just saying
I'm trying to help you to get to know me.
They also don't speak on it on an everyday. I have to prove to somebody.
I don't speak on it every day. I speak on it when I need to. When individuals are saying, vile and malicious things, or people in comments, then I'll speak on it. But on an everyday purpose, on an everyday manner, I don't walk around like, look at my Rolls Royce, or look at this, look at that. But when I see weird edits, right? When I see people on YouTube channels, lives, I may chime in, because it's confusing to me, right? When you're the individual that's on the of whether it be hate, whether it be commentary, whatever the case may be, I always would charge someone to look at things from the aspect of, everybody chooses to deal with their trauma, or whatever you want to call it, differently, right? When I see these things, most of the stuff doesn't bother me. When I start to see like some weird narrative that's not even true, and in our culture, it's the weirdest thing. We'll take any little thing, we'll run with it. We won't do no research. We won't even dig in to see if it's true. We just, because this person is saying it and it's enough people saying it, it gotta be true. Oh, he must be broke. He must be sleeping on the floor. Not one person did their own research. Not one person on this panel, maybe, he's around, we chopped it up, whatever the case may be, but nobody else took research. Let me see if this really is probably may be. We allow reality TV, right, which we know is not all the way real. And a lot of those edits aren't true. Those edits, production, rather editing, the editors, right? They want talk about girl exes. That didn't that wasn't entirely true. I'm not speaking on that situation, but I was there. I know what did happen, and I know what they just can't, because it will be. Oh, can you hear me now?
I can hear you a little bit. It's cutting a little bit. Yeah.
Let me get out my car. It's probably for car. So, what I'm saying is, there's a lot of stuff that they don't show. Even at the reunion, all that stuff is not entirely true. Like, they don't show the whole situation, what happened with Alexis and why she went from 0 to 1,000. It would take,
while she's there?
10
No. While she there, Will, answer that question. Why did she go from 0 to 1,000? Tell her, why did she go from 0 to 1,000?
I ain't gonna get into that, but in short story, I'm gonna give you Cliff Notes. And Cliff Notes.
Give us Cliff Notes. That's what we're asking for, sir. Don't worry about it. We didn't even want the long one. Cliff Notes.
She was
antagonized.
Go for Cliff Notes. She was antagonized. It was people was ganging up on her. They showed
who's antagonizing? Who specifically is a culprit in this situation? We need names. This ain't snitching.
Well,
this is real.
To be honest, it was really
names.
between her and LARON. They was arguing back and forth. Those are the two people that was arguing.
Oh, her and LARON were arguing. Okay.
They was arguing, and then that's how it kind of pit stormed into what it was. It wasn't so much about MIEKA or KOSHEIA. It was really between her and LARON, but I ain't gonna speak on that. Long story short,
it wasn't between her and MIEKA, even though she told MIEKA to F off and she's gonna beat her up.
No,
it wasn't between her and MIEKA.
No, she did snap on her. That's the edit that they showed, but that wasn't the end all be all of the story. Like, her and MIEKA wasn't even about to scrap. Her real piece was really with LARON. So when she was screaming at LARON? Yeah, her and LARON was going back and forth for the longest. So they just showed a weird edit to make it seem like she was trying to curse out everybody, which she had her words with multiple people. But
she did curse out everybody.
Yeah, her main conversation was with LARON. They didn't show none of that.
Okay.
But you know what's crazy? You know what's crazy, Will? If you have time and you go watch another round, we discussed this. I think you're downplaying how people who are intelligent can read the room. We said on another round earlier this morning that we believe that she was wilding because of some mess with LARON that we didn't see.
Well, LARON called her cokehead. Like,
I'm sure we said that.
Not gonna show. Yeah.
We said that people can read.
Hey, what's up, buddy?
Was that before she called him a dork?
Buddy, all right?
No, but was that before she called him a dork? That's not an excuse for you to go wild in the way you wild out. Is that before she called him a dork? Is that before she said he's a snake?
Nah, he said that first. He kept saying that. So they're not gonna show that on TV.
When did he say that? Okay, let's make it clear. So he called her a cokehead before she called him a snake.
Well, I don't know exactly. This happened like maybe 6 months longer than that. This was recorded. Shit,
Yeah.
We in
She gonna need to take some accountability.
We in April, so this happened. We recorded the reunion maybe
October.
Like yeah, it was a while ago, 6 months ago. So however, do your math, right?
Yeah.
So there was a lot of words being exchanged between the two of them. Now, I will agree based on that one edit when she was like, let's be clear here, the biggest snake is LARON. Now that did kind of set him off a little bit, but what really took him from 0 to 1,000 when he kept calling her a cokehead. So they didn't show that. So that's really was to me, like the fire to start her ass up. So that's what they not gonna show. No different than my conversation, me going back and forth with MIEKA. They didn't show all the comeback that me and MIEKA had. They just showed two that they felt was the best. And they spun that narrative. Me and her had a whole 5-7 minute argument. It wasn't. And they put that 5-7 minute argument into a 30-second soundbite. So that's just how TV works.
I get it. So again, just quickly, can you remember, I want you to think back real hard. Who called who first? Did she call him a snake before he called her a cokehead? I just want to be able to establish that. Think back hard.
I mean, to be honest, I wasn't really paying like much attention until she started turning up. At first, I was already agitated. I was already agitated at the reunion. You could see the look on my face. My whole demeanor was like, man, I'm ready to go. So I didn't really like tap back in until bro said something to me. But what they not gonna show is me and bro almost strapped up. You feel me?
Who, you and LARON? Thank you for confirming, because I didn't know about the story. So you said what happened?
I ain't gonna speak on that, bro, because bro like the police. He called the police and stuff. I'm not even gonna get into all that.
Damn, he called the police on you.
Your boy.
What did you do to him?
I ain't even gonna speak on that. Anyways, bro. Long story short, I don't know precisely who said what first. At the end of the day, what took Alexis off when he kept calling her cokehead. Then that's when she turned all the way up. And they kept arguing back and forth, having sidebar chats, attacking one another, and it just blew up the way it blew up. So,
was she acting a bit wild before that, though?
What happened?
Was she acting a bit wild before that?
Nah, she wasn't.
She was calm before that?
She was calm. She was cool.
So the beef that you have, the beef that you have with MIEKA and KOSHEIA, was that before the beef with LARON and Alexis?
Yeah.
Because they showed us that you guys had your situation first.
That happened first.
Before they showed.
That was the first. Me and them got on the stage first, but they even put that out of order. They made it seem like something else happened first, but that happened way before all of that.
Wait. Sorry. Just I want to make it very, very clear. Are you saying that Alexis and LARON's beef happened before your situation with MIEKA, KOSHEIA?
Oh yeah, no. Alexis and LARON, that happened way later on the show before she left.
Okay, so she was already wilding before then. So let's move on.
No, she wasn't wilding before then. No.
She was wilding.
She wasn't wilding before then.
She was wilding. Let's move to the end.
She didn't start wilding until
the camera doesn't show that. Let's move to the end. Let's move to the end. So I want to, because we've only got a few minutes left. Okay, so now I want to ask a question. When you try to cool her down, and obviously you went to the backstage, right? At that point, LARON in that place, you couldn't cool her down. You couldn't stop her. You know what I'm saying, Chu? And on 2 occasions, you tried to stop her. She went on a mad thing. What happened there? Because LARON is not in that space at that moment, I'm guessing. So what happened in those situations?
In that situation, bro, she was just gone mentally, bro. She just wasn't able to reason. A lot of people was ganging up on her, saying hurtful things to her, and she just saw red. That's just as simple as it. That's the simplest way to explain it. You know, it wasn't nothing that I could say or do to calm her down and get her to come back, and she ended up leaving. That's the long story short. You know, she felt like, you know, certain people on the producers didn't protect her or whatever the case may be. She can explain it better than I can. I'm gonna reserve her the right that if she wants to explain that, that's for her to explain, right? That's not necessarily for me to explain, but what I can say is she was pissed off. There was nothing that I could say to get her to come back and speak her truth, because what's gonna happen after that is they gonna, you know, now that she was gone when she left, they gained up on her again. Not like gained up on her like,
I get you.
and that way, yeah, they was saying stuff about her, saying this and saying that, and she wasn't there to defend or protect herself or to say this or to say that.
Got it. Question: did y'all continue to date after y'all both left?
Nah, like me and her, we was cool, but after I left the journey, you know, I'm assuming she continued to date other people that she had connections with. I can't really speak to, you know, how her journey ended, right? But me and her was cool. We never like seriously dated. We had a connection for the time being. We was cool. I kind of call it like TV booze, right? Like we had good on camera chemistry, but outside of the TV show, we never dated. Is she a cool person? Absolutely, she cool. I got nothing wrong with her in my books, but I can't
Now,
speak to.
was she telling you stuff from the women's lounge, giving you insider information?
Absolutely not.
Okay.
No, when I came to that conclusion, I walked around everybody, and Patrice told her herself. Had I known Patrice said it, then I would have went straight to Patrice to begin with. So, you know, I was kind of pissed off. That's when that all started. I'm like, who the hell called me broke? Because I ain't gonna lie, that's kind of like one of those things for me, in which I'm like confused, like who would be calling me broke? I didn't understand it, because the conversation that me and Patrice had, I didn't say I was sleeping on the floor. I was confused on why she would make that the narrative. I didn't know whether a producer told her that. I didn't really understand it. It didn't make sense to me, because that's clearly not the case. But hey, Alexis didn't tell me that.
No,
I figured that out on my own with my own deductive reasoning.
I appreciate Will. Listen, Will, our time is up, but I appreciate you, Captain, coming up on here. Listen, shout me after. Maybe we can get you back on here again, and you know you can share a bit more in terms of what happened from your perspective, and have unfiltered time for that. Is that all right, Cap?
All right, for sure. You let me know, bro. I gotta go back into this spot. But
You're good, bro. You're good.
just
Go enjoy
me, bro.
yourself. Splash some cash. You know, spray some Dom Perignon or whatever you spray. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? Send me a little sign as well, man. My PayPal's there, guys. You know what I'm saying to you? Listen, I'm never going to not say nothing to no money.
Yeah,
you want to, since you're a millionaire, send me some money. Shoot. All right, cool. He definitely ain't. He heard my money and was like, no. All right, listen. panel, what we saying?
I had a lot to say, but
crap, sorry.
It was a lot going on. I wanted to ask him, why do you feel like none of the women came to her defense or rescue that entire time? But I guess maybe that's something you can ask Alexis directly if you get a chance to talk to her, because I thought that was quite telling that none of the women came to her defense at all. They all just sat there like, sucks to suck the entire time. But I want to clear this one thing up. I want to say there is nothing wrong with anyone ever defending themselves, right? If he is still listening somewhere at his restaurant. There is nothing wrong with someone defending themselves. I don't think that a lot of people in the comments or panelists fully understand how sucky it may feel to hear narratives about you that you know to be false, right? So I always think it's great that Kojo allows people to come on and speak their speak, or someone defends themselves, because I do think a lot of the comments that are said, if they were being said about us, we probably wouldn't be able to handle it if we know that it's not true. What I didn't get a chance to say, though, which I think he needs to understand, first of all, it's not a Black person thing or why people run with negative things on the internet. People run with negative things on the internet, no matter what the color is. If you look at TikTok, anybody who knows TikTok algorithm and stuff on the algorithm, negative, salacious stuff always pushes. It always goes crazy. It's not a Black people thing. It's an internet thing, right? So of course, it's a people thing. Unfortunately, people rather run with Will sleeps on a mattress in his house than they want to do the truth, right? That's number one. Number two, I don't think it's also that Black people just can't understand what a real estate developer is. I think not only was it not explained on the show, when Will had the opportunity to come on your platform, Kojo, and explain, he did not explain as clearly and eloquently as he just did right now. He spent most of his time on your platform cutting up, talking about how he from Florida, he about that life, toting guns, doing nonsense. He wasn't doing none of the stuff that he was doing right here, explaining what he does. Honestly, I really wish that he would do more explaining, seminars, and help more Black people get into what he's doing. I think that would be excellent, right? He wasn't doing that. And then the last disconnect is that most of the time when you see people carrying on the way Will has, like how you said, like he's braggadocious and things like that, usually those people do not have money, because from a person who doesn't have as much money as he says that he has, most people and even the lawyers that I know, we spend our time shrinking ourselves. Because one, we know as Black people, people are never happy for you, and they're always going to make you feel bad that you have some dollars. If they're not doing that, they're asking you for money, expecting you to pay for everything. As soon as I became a lawyer, I spent my time making myself as small as possible. And that is how the people who I know who have a little bit of money act. I don't know a lot of people who have a whole lot of money who act like him. And so I think that's also the reason why he gets the "do you really got it right" vibe, because that's not how people normally act. So I just want to say those three things. I actually fully believe him. I will do my own if I feel like it. I probably won't. Look at his LLCs and his property. I'm sure he's telling the truth, but I just think he has to understand that his braggadocious nature is usually akin to someone who's faking and fronting. He may not be that way, but I'm saying that's the way it comes across. But seeing a Black man that's successful, doing his thing, making his own way, breaking down barriers, I always love to see that. And I won't be spreading any negative things about him, because that's great. This life of Bill must be his homeboy or something, because he's not really listening to the conversation. But yeah, I'm happy for him. But I do think that a lot of the times the energy that you're putting out is also some of the energy that you're getting back. And I think people don't realize that. But the man said he got it, so we could just move on from saying that he's sleeping on a mattress and he's a squatter. Clearly he's not. Good for him. So.
Yeah, and I don't think I finished even speaking to him, because I was trying to tell him that, listen, I'm the one that said it. I can be accountable. I'm sorry for calling you a brokey, right? But it was giving broke energy. Like he said, this is reality TV. And what do people do? They talk about things on reality TV. So I was giving my opinion on how he was coming across. And even though he's doing great for himself, and like I said it to him as well, I'm going to say it again, like he's not likable. Sorry, you're not likable when you're very braggadocious. Like it's not attractive. Whether you have money or not, like I don't want to, it's not attractive. And also, if you put yourself in the limelight, this is not saying that it's okay for people to say mean things about you. This is just me saying that as somebody who creates content and also says a lot of polarizing things on the internet, I'm well accustomed to people having opinions about me, which is absolutely absurd. But I only used to respond years ago when I first started, but now I don't care what people think about me or what they think I have or my life and what I look like or whatever, because they have an opinion and they're projecting. If they are projecting or whatever, people are always going to have something to say about you, right? And that's not to say that people shouldn't stand up for themselves, but don't feel the need to respond to everyone and everything, and like to prove and show that you have this. Like there's no need for it. You got it. And I'm really happy for you, especially as a Black man. Like, it's good to see, right? However, like what Seaway says, a lot of people who I know who are wealthy, you wouldn't even know that they're wealthy and they have money unless they told you, because they don't feel the need to do that, right? And also, like what Siwa says, like no one wants to be asked for money 24/7. Like I have to look after you because you know that I have some money. So I understand that he has a different background and he's come from where he's come from and he is who he is. And listen, if you want to be flashy, be flashy. We see a lot of these rappers and all this kind of stuff, be flashy, and that's fine. Like live your life, but understand that in doing that, people are going to have an opinion about you and are going to vocalize that opinion, right? But it's no beef. Like, I don't know you from Adam. This is literally a TV show. As soon as I come off this live, I'm going to bed, like, and I'm gonna go on living my life. It's the same as all of us. Like, this is entertainment for us. And I think people who go on these shows need to realize that. They know that it's not 100% real. We know that, and we're not. I'm not going to be, let me go Google Will. When he was saying, I don't understand why people are not going researching, because we actually don't care. Like, I don't really care enough to take 10 minutes out of my day I'm in the UK. I don't even know what to search. Like, what am I searching for? Do you know what? It's not that deep. It's really not that deep. From the information that was given to us from the edit, it was giving broke. You've come, you've said you're not broke. Fantastic. I'm happy for you.
I also think to Jay's point, I don't know how it is in Dallas. Y'all Dallas folks, let me know. But up in Chicago, I know in LA, they get you, Miami. I can't speak to everywhere. You got to be really careful where you're driving around your Rolls Royce, the watch that you're wearing, and where that you're going. I personally drive my American car that most people know me, know I drive for a reason. I don't want no extra attention. They be like, Dag, Seaway do da-da-da-da, and she still got her little American car. I sure do. I sure do. I don't want nobody trying to pull up on me for no reason. I don't care how much money I get. You will not see me in a Rolls Royce. Because I grew up around a lot of white people with a lot of money, and they love their Subarus. And that's because they were able to move on the low. On the low. I already seen it. So, and there's too many people, especially post-COVID, people are broke for real. People are hungry. They got migrants on the street trying to look for food that they ain't housed. And some of them that they done housed over the homeless people they didn't house. People breaking into stuff. This ain't the time to be flashy. This is not the time to be flashy. So I really hope he really think about where he taking his weekend car. Because a lot of people ain't happy for you.
Yeah, and I just think because it's unfortunate, and I think Alonzo had the same perspective where they just come in hot and defensive, and they to a certain degree don't understand that people are there are some folks that are trying to understand. I mean, listen, I wasn't going to completely tussle with Lorraine, but I was on the side of giving him a little bit of understanding around his situation from a real estate perspective, as well as him sleeping on the floor. So I was on his side for that particular thing. So look, I just think different strokes for different folks. I definitely think he got some money. How much it is, I don't know. I'm not trying to count his bank account. Being in banking and financial services, I've seen all types of people. I've seen people who do it the way that people are used to, the wealth whispers and money is loud. I understand that, but there's also people that act on the other side. So there's all different types of people. People make decisions for different reasons that maybe we might not know of, but sometimes people choose to rent. Like I was talking about behind the scenes with Jay. Sometimes wealthy people, do choose to rent their primary residence while they own other investment properties that they can move around. Especially if you're young, you're single, you don't need to be tied down to a house as your primary residence. So you may decide to rent an apartment in a high rise. I don't know. All speculations. Could it be something fishy? Sure, it could very well. But hey, it's how he chooses to navigate his life. Just like, Sexy Red ain't my cup of tea. You know, I don't like it, but people like it. Some people like the music. I don't like it. It's not for me. It's not my thing. I'm not saying she don't have talent. It's just not my thing. So that's just what I think about it.
All righty. Are we moving on? Feels like we need another prayer at this point. we need an accelerant prayer at this point. But let me reset the room. We've got 1,250 people in the room. Shout out for those of you who are watching. We appreciate y'all for joining on the show. We still got a few more to talk about. We've got to talk about Alexis beef, I guess. Now, so we gonna get onto that in a second or two. But I know there's a couple of super chats that were coming through. Feel Good said, "Why would KOSHEIA tell the other women and not expect them to address Will? That's a major statement to say that he was sexually aggressive. It wasn't MIEKA beef. She inserted herself between the two women as well." And then Feel Good said, "What happened with Alexis?" He wanted to ask Will as well, which we did ask as well. Shout out to Sean for asking that question. Kesha said, "I think some opinions are also because he came off petty. He's also leading with the assumption that none of the viewers know successful black people." I definitely understand that point of view. And obviously we've got a few new members. Vanessa, shout out to you. And Leslie Love, we appreciate you for joining the team and the membership as well. We're going to end on a high note because I say high note, we're going to end on a low note. Oh, wrong song. I apologize.
Here we go like that.
Yo, I have my whole hand ready to go and the wrong song came up. Oh, Holy Spirit, we thank you for comedy. We need to laugh sometimes. It's a bit heavy in here, you know what I mean? After my man came in here, you get me? But listen. We're in a final leg now, all right? We're in a final leg. We gonna chop it up about the final piece of the show, okay? All right? I will talk to Will and get him behind the scenes and trying to get him on. I did ask Alexis, but I don't know if she will. She did say she'll give me an answer last week, but she didn't give me one. So I'll ask her again and see if she will come on. I know someone asked me why the ladies haven't come on. I don't know. I guess they don't want to come on and explain themselves. I guess maybe they didn't feel they need to explain themselves. But they're all problematic this season. So to be honest, it's not my business.
Are the men acting like women these days? That's what it was.
I mean, listen. On this particular season, I'm gonna say yes. But then, just for the season.
Well,
yes,
I thought Maya said she was going to interview with you. I asked you like twice.
Yeah, no, that's the only one. That's the only person. though. I'm not. That's the only person. Her and Patricia are the only brave ones. Yesterday.
Well, that's the case. See, way that the women are acting like men these days and not taking accountability.
Wow. You know what the Bible says? You know when people turn evil and good and turn good to evil? That's what it sounded like you just did there, Jay. You turned it upside down, baby. Okay? You know that's not us. Okay? I turned
water into wine.
Wow. But what did Jesus say? He said it's not my time, it's not my hour. But I hear what you're saying, baby, okay? But he still did it, so you're right.
Not the divorce.
You gotta flash that around.
I'm just saying, all I did was stomp on a couple of grapes. That's all. I didn't do it the way Jesus did it. I had to actually work for mine.
Listen, it's wild. It's wild. Listen. Hey, look, this season's been one of those seasons. It's been interesting, and they've got another season coming out now. So we thought it was dead. They said they're gonna bring it back to life. Okay, they're gonna add some meat to the dry bones in Ezekiel. They said, okay, all right, there's gonna be a shaking in this place. So shout out to them. All right, cool. Listen, so we're going to the next part of the show. If you've joined us and you've been here for a little while, we've appreciated you on the last leg. I know you wanted to talk about this part because it's been tickling you for a long time. It's the Alexis issue. Maybe we'll do another live where we talk about the ladies a bit more because I did want to get to a bit more in depth, but then, the Will situation took us off course, but time is running. So obviously the Alexis situation, the Alexis beef. Now, Will give us a bit more information. Okay. He said obviously that, LARON called her a cokehead, which for me still doesn't make her, still doesn't mean that she can wild out the way she wild out. She wild out on everybody. I'm talking about the security guard. She wild out of Justin. She wild up at LARON. She wild up at MIEKA and KOSHEIA. I mean, there wasn't anybody in that place that she didn't wild up on. At one point, Will tried it and he got wild upon. So I don't know. He's forgetting. I think he got hit so hard he forgot that he got wild upon. And she told him to get his hands off her. So at that point, everybody got a lot of sauce from her. So, but I want to get your perspective. But before I do, let me play a little bit of the clip so that people know what part we're talking about on the show. So it's not absent from what we're dealing with. Okay. This is a great shot. I can't lie to you. They got her good with this part. This part here, beautiful. I mean, she said that you two 3 times. That's at least 3 different people. So clearly, she said that you two to 3 different people, okay, at that point in time. So clearly she had her sights set on the people then. I want to get your thoughts. What's your thoughts on this situation? Because, you know, I want to know, like, in terms, obviously, now we know that, obviously, Justin, now we know that, obviously, Will told us that, you know, there was her being called a cokehead and that they might have been jumping on her a little bit. I know C-Way and Jay, you had a live earlier on. You can bring some of that stuff here now. We'd love to hear your points of view. Yes, C-Way, your mic's open and ready, so go for it. Talk to us your perspective.
I may have an unpopular opinion from at least you, Kojo, but I'm sorry. Nobody acts like that in the vacuum. Nobody's saying F you, and F your mama too in a vacuum. Clearly, there was something that happened, right? LARON was LARONing. You see, the thing is, the stuff that LARON has done, even that we have personally seen, like keeping Maya's pictures up there after you say that you're going to take it down and after I take it down, like a person like me with my temperament, I may pull up on you, right? So, and that's just what we've seen. I can't imagine whatever he was saying to Alexis on that stage, coupled with the fact that Alexis has done herself a disservice by being a pick-me and isolating herself from the women, that she had nobody to calm her down, nobody to be there for her, nobody to kind of be like, LARON, shut the hell up. So I think what happened was LARON was in his sassy era, being sassy, petty, and combative, right? All the things that we say about women. He was doing that towards Alexis, and Alexis was being combative, sassy, and guess what? She couldn't hang with LARON. LARON probably gave her something she could feel, like calling her cokehead, whatever he said, and she lost it. She snapped. And nobody gave a F either, really. So I think there's more to the story. She clearly, something was happening. And no, I'm not defending Alexis. No, we're not colorists. No, I'm not giving her a pass. She got curly hair. I'm just saying what I've been saying. If y'all been watching here, don't get down in these effing comments talking about C-Way is none of that. I was already in trouble for defending all the women y'all say I give a pass, and all of them were all different shades and backgrounds. I personally I'm not even a fan of Alexis because she's a pick-me, and I don't like pick-me's, but I still believe that LARON and somebody else did something to that lady. Nobody is spiraling like that. So that's my opinion.
If we was to, let me break this down in part. If we were to isolate this particular part by itself and say nothing else took place, this would be a problem. But if we have to add in all the little fragments of pieces of things that's been coexisting and happening and all this, all the way from the start of the season, all the way to the start of this reunion, all the way up into this point, it is tick, 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 boom. And we have seen her all season long talk about she's not going to be a doormat. If people start things, she's going to finish them. She can handle her. She'll take it outside. We've been seeing little trinkets of Alexis ready to pop at any moment. Now that tells me that there's something deeper that's outside of this. And these people are now the nemesis in her new story, her new chapter. And that's all it is. We've been having her beef back and forth with KOSHEIA. And I'm not going to forget that she's the one who initiated some of that beef when KOSHEIA was explaining her experience with Will. She said, well, the men know who to test. That already told you, okay, so whoever the men has been testing are no longer on your side now. And that goes to C-Way's point again as why none of the women again didn't jump in, because they didn't jump in when Jonathan was holding her up hostage on his lap down at that party or whatever. And then again, here on this stage, nobody is stepping in. So one, she has a problem where she's basically isolating herself and putting herself in a corner. And then on top of it, you have a bunch of people backing her further into the corner. And like most pit bulls in the skirt gonna do, they're gonna attack. So here we are with a bunch of people making a wrong move on this stage, trying to calm her down. And I think Sean said it either earlier in this live, and if he did, I'm gonna reiterate it again, but I know it was said in the live earlier on my platform, is that when a person is this irate, the last thing you really wanna do is try to calm them down by putting your hands on them. If a person is ready to fight, the last thing you want to do is grab them in the middle of a fight, especially if they're a fighter type person in the first place. And she's given me that she's been fighting all her life. I'm just saying, that's when you get hit. And that's what kind of happened with Will in the case or whatever. She started attacking Will too, because one thing they don't want you to do is stop them from going at wherever they're going in that manner. Now, she needed to be stopped. I'm sorry. She did need to be stopped because she was off the hinge, going too far with a lot of stuff. Her mouth is one thing too. Her mouth does not know how to stop. The back and forth that happened earlier in the day, that's because her mouth don't know how to stop. And then on top of it, my mouth is petty. Your mouth is petty. Now we got two petty people going back and forth. And she been going back and forth with petty people all day. She had to go with MIEKA earlier. Then she conjoined MIEKA and KOSHEIA. So now she was 2 against 1 earlier then. Now I got a whole man over here being petty, saying this, that, and the third behind me. And, you know, if we to believe what Will said, allegedly he said these things or whatever, that's more fuel to the fire. I'm not really caring if she called him a dork first. That we could have had a petty back and forth like like Will and MIEKA had earlier, and we just name call each other. But sometimes when we start going into the areas of calling somebody a cokehead and all this stuff like that, that's defamatory. I don't care how you want to put it. If that's what he was doing and he can't prove that's what she actually does, he can have some problems on his hand. That's just on him. But I don't know how I'm gonna let anybody let those words. Here's my point. I don't know how those words is really gonna get me to this space of ready to fight everybody unless they hold some truth. I'm not saying she is. I'm not saying, because I wasn't there. I don't know what was actually said, but whatever was said was enough to touch her to be ready to fight everybody and not listen Bambi. And not listen to anybody in that moment. And I don't know. I'm not going to even say that intoxication and all this is the only thing that gets people there. I've seen people that's not been intoxicated have this much rage, and generally it comes from something from childhood. So I'm curious to know, and I hope she does do the interview with you, because I would like to actually hear why she has this much rage built up in her, waiting to pop out at any moment. And I'll just leave it for there. Let me let her out.
Go for Deacon.
Yeah, I mean, listen, I think I'm appreciative that Will gave us some more context into what was enraging her. And I do understand, that you poke somebody, and you say certain things, you really can't control, you're not always going to be able to predict their reaction. So I think a lot of people were going back and forth at her, but I also have to say some of the things she did to herself. And it's unfortunate that she wasn't able to hold self-control. You know what I mean? So I just think I hope at a certain point she can look back and own some of her behavior, because if she doesn't look back at any of this and say like, oh, wow, I could have handled this better. Oh, wow, I would love it if she interviews with you, coach, or someone that's going to ask her some questions, and hopefully she's done a level of self-reflection to be able to, answer to why she behaved this way and how she would react differently. Because listen, in life, people are going to do and say things you don't like. It's going to happen. I think you have to be able to exercise and control yourself. And she just showed several moments where she was unrestrained. So I just want her to be able to look and be like, you know what? I might not have liked what people said. They might have been lying. They might have been saying X, Y, and Z, but I know I could have handled myself better. So that's what I would love to see, and I'm hoping it, because otherwise she's going to do that again in another way, shape, or form. Because people that show up this way, this isn't the first, second, or last time they do it until they work on their behavior and learn how to regulate better.
Definitely hear that. Siwa, I don't know if you wanted to add. I don't know if Siwa's there. Or Lorraine, if you want to add. I don't know if you want to add something. Go for it, Lorraine.
Yeah, I'm gonna say, I don't know if it's gonna be polarizing again, but I don't know. This probably will make her come or not come on your on your show. Alexis comes across as one of those girls who are not friends with girls, because girls are the B word and they're so mean and they're so catty. So I'm not gonna hang around with girls for whatever experience that she's probably had with females who probably are like that. So I think that's probably why she isolated herself from the female cast. And it could have looked at as something as her doing things or saying things to perpetuate the narrative that she has, that women are catty and they're bees and they're not nice people, only for her to be met with the sassiest of all people, LARON. Okay, not knowing that the sass was going to come from the opposite gender. The irony of the situation, that you isolate yourself from women because you don't want to be in mess and women are like this, and the person that's going to give you the smoke and go there and go low, the bar with LARON is an absolute hell. So I completely believe that he would have said something of that sort, or even anything for her to get to that place. What surprised me, however, is her reaction, because I don't know if it was the edit, but before she seemed to be really put together. Even her interaction with KOSHEIA, she didn't stand up and start, effing and blinding. She seems to really hold herself together. So I was really shocked that she literally went from 0 to 100 in this scenario, because I thought, you weren't like this before. Yes, you said I can do this, I can do that, but it seemed like you were able to kind of like hold yourself together. And also touching on something that LARON said at the beginning of the reunion, I remember saying to myself, it's really odd that LARON and Alexis are sitting next to each other. And not only are they sitting next to each other, the body language is giving we're friends, because he had his arm kind of looking like it was over her a little bit, and she was kind of sitting with her body kind of facing inwards towards him, and they seem to be having kind of like conversations amongst themselves. So for me, again, it seemed like they were cordial or friendly. So for them to then go from that to they're now effing and blinding and this, that, and the other, that confused me as well. So when LARON said, but you were being chummy with me, like maybe he added a little bit of zazz to say, she was doing this and saying all this stuff, but the body language looked like they were being chummy. So yeah, I'm not surprised that the females did not take up for her, because she has alienated herself away from the females, so they weren't going to stand up for her. And it just shows as well some of the things that she might have been saying behind the scenes. But I was really, really, really disappointed in her behavior, to be honest with you, regardless of what LARON said or didn't say. You are only accountable and responsible for yourself and how you present yourself. And this is going to be on national TV and on the interweb for the rest of your life, So yes, is LARON sassy? Is he petty? Absolutely, yes, he is. But you are only responsible for yourself, because now you have the worst edit ever, and he's not looking as bad as you. So it was really, really disappointing to see her go to that level, and for her to even saying,
you're gonna see the worst of me. Like she knew that there was no coming back from that, and she knew that this was the worst of her. And yeah, it was sad to see her go there.
Anyone want to add to that situation? Well, we've still got 10 minutes left, so if anyone wants to add in this situation with Alexis. I mean, personally, obviously, I don't care if you called her a cokehead. There's no need to go from 0 to 1,000 like that. That is too much. She has to take accountability. It was very aggressive, and now I have to look back at some of the other situations and look back with a different type of lens, right? And obviously, her and LARON are definitely going to be definitely had a history, because when he eliminated her, or when he was going to be eliminated, I don't know, whatever, there was meant to be a situation where I think he wanted to blast her. So there was already a history between the two of them. They already had a beef before this, because obviously her association with Will and how he wanted to get rid of Will and her. Remember when he called them snakes or whatever, and he said he had to get rid of them or whatever. So there's already an issue there already, right? But that level of going from 0 to 1,000, where you lose sight of your target. Let's say LARON is your target. You lost sight of LARON because the security got it. Dom is now having to stand up and watch over you. Alonzo's come over to say, come, let's get up and move. You don't want to get up. Now Justin's getting it. You turn around, all of a sudden MIEKA's behind you. You sensed her like it was Pokemon or freaking whatever, Dragon Ball Z, and you had some sixth sense. And now you turn around and you say you want to beat her up too. At that point, you've lost it. And that's got nothing to do with LARON, and we're not going to make no excuses for her. Because I think trying to say like, oh, well, she might have been tempted all day, it doesn't make a difference. For you to blast off like that, yes, I know it's not isolated. Janelle wasn't isolated. Tequila wasn't isolated. Many people's things are not isolated. They're triggered. KOSHEIA was not isolated. But the reality of the situation is she got to take some smoke, right? And I think, both her, we gave smoke. I gave smoke to KOSHEIA earlier in the season, and the reason I'm giving Alexis smoke now is because that reaction was violent. At one point, her hands were in Justin's face. Like, this energy she'd been carried. If it had been carried for LARON, maybe we might have been having a different conversation. I probably wouldn't, but still, you know what I mean. But your energy now goes onto Justin too. You slap away the security guard's arm. You tell Will, get your effing hand off me. At that point, yeah, you've been aggressive and you're being violent almost at that point, because you haven't punched anybody, but your energy's becoming violent at that point. And so I have to keep it a buck and keep it real. At that point in time, yeah, and you know what, Phil, good, you're probably right. Look, Justin probably didn't have to say anything, right? But the reality of the situation is, when you're wilding like that, and someone says, listen, you're talking a bit too much, that should not have you in the space of the stratosphere. It should not have you at the stratosphere. It should not have you in the clouds, circling the Earth, and wondering when you're going to re-entry into orbit. It shouldn't be a situation where you're that vexed, and you're doing it to everybody. And she lost it. The reality is, she lost it. Okay, lost it. Went out. Even when she was leaving, still was losing it. Will was there trying to calm her down. She couldn't see Will. Okay, couldn't see Will. Left that place, went to the gate, still was losing it. Now, at that point, yeah, I'm sorry. Yeah, she got to be held accountable. It was combative, it was aggressive, it was violent at one point, because I'm saying she was in people's faces like she was going to beat them up, threatening people. Come on. No, we can't excuse that behavior. We gave smoke to freaking old girl who's Janelle's friend, and she even laid half the threats that were laid by Alexis in that reunion. So no, she ain't gonna get no freedom here. She has to be smoked, and if that means that she don't come on the channel, that's up to her. I don't mind, but the smoke has to be where it's laid, because there was way too much fire that she issued on that reunion. Yes.
I have no problem with the smoke. I have no problem with accountability. The reason I hold some space of grace, because it's giving mentally unstable. And I'm not talking about intoxicated, induced. I mean, it could be induced by some intoxication, but it's giving something chemically, naturally is off in there. And that's why I'm holding some space or whatever stuff. And it could be a little bit of bias, because I actually deal with people that are off in my family to this degree, because for you to literally be this blinded with rage to ready to fight everybody in the room, that's not something that is natural and kosher for a healthy person. Janelle, I would see people want to be in the chat with Janelle. Janelle was attacking and going at one person. Zadia was going at one person for the most part. And I mean, it'd be a separate one person, but I never seen each literally line everybody up and let's go. We have not seen that. I can't recall us seeing that with anybody or whatever. So it's giving me really unstable and really need to be checked out. Like seriously. It's giving me, you need more than a little bit of therapy or whatever. I don't know. And that's why I said I want to hold some space so I can hear what happened somewhere up in there for you to be at this much wits end that you really feel the whole world is against you, even in the space that you place the world against you. That's not, something's not right there. You're really fighting everybody, your own allies, you're fighting them too. Something is not clicking up in here. And it's yes, you need your smoke or whatever, but the smoke is not going to come if this is off. And it's the same thing with LARON. You see how much time we spent up here trying to give LARON the same grace. And I'm trying to figure out why everybody is acting so new to this, of us giving the season of grace that we've been in. We sat up here for hours with LARON, trying to hold him accountable, trying to talk to him and see how show him how he did wrong. And like this, he switched right back up on us. Something is not right up here. And in order for me to give you the proper advice or help you move forward, I got to know what is up here not right, so I know how to navigate my wording to you. My message to you. I can sit up here and all day, yeah, she was effed up, she shouldn't have did that, or whatever the case may be, but it's not going to go nowhere, because in her mind, she did what she needed to do to protect herself. But if I can resonate with why she's protecting herself in such manner, I can figure out what I need to say to her, what message I need to give to her and say, you know what, I understand you was protecting yourself in that moment, but there's better ways, sis. There's better ways of not letting people steal your power that much, especially somebody like LARON. That man should have never stole her power like that. And I mean, even Will, somebody that actually has a connection to her, some form of connection, told her the same thing. And she was like, F that, y'all getting the worst of me. Something is not right up here. And it's really sad to watch a lot of us Black people just sit there and say, oh, y'all should do better and all this stuff like that. Well, yes, we could do better if we start taking the time to realize why people are in the mental state that they're in and why they decide to unalive themselves and different things like this. But we don't take that time. We just rather judge them and say, you know what, you just wrong for that. F you, go about your business and stuff like that and dismiss them that way. We spent time with LARON. Why we can't spend time with Alexis? We just spent time with Will. Why we can't spend time with Alexis? If Janelle came up here, we would have spent time with her. We spent time with Zadia. We spent time with everybody that's been problematic, that was willing to step up here on this platform and speak their piece. So if she don't want to come on the platform, that's a whole different thing. And we can sit here and make up any assumptions that we want to, make up any narrative, because she gave us that space to do it. But I would like her to come up here and say what she got to say before I fully judge why she went that far. But I still can hold her accountable in that same regards of saying, yes, it wasn't right. But I would like to know why you was doing it. I know why I did what I did when I did it. Like I told Shawn and Elle said the story earlier, I know why I did what I did. It was out of survival. So I would like to know why she did what she did. Was she surviving in this moment? Is what she triggered? I mean, literally for her to rage out like that, none of the people that was on that stage existed. It was some other people. It was some other things that she was seeing. We might not see. And yes, it could be alcohol, drug, whatever the case may be. I don't really know what's in her system, or it could just be something that she's been dealing with since childhood. And we all got that something. And I wish people stop getting on these platforms and sitting in these chats acting like we ain't all dealing with something some way, somehow. We live in a very imperfect world. Some of our demons are a little bit stronger to fight than others. And I bless people that never been in this space, that you have never been this angered before. And I hope that you never do, because it's very scary to even the person in that space. I'm gonna let you know from firsthand account, it is very scary to blank out like that. And that I wouldn't wish that on anybody.
You know, Jay, I think you said something, you said so many things that are real. I also want to say that I said earlier that something must have happened. And there's a couple comments. I think it's Orchard said it, Show Orchard said it earlier, a couple of comments ago. But I think what happened with Alexis was a culmination of everything that was going on all season. She was pushing people away all season in that defense zone that Jay was just talking about all season, isolating herself while also kind of antagonizing others all season. I think that once we got to the reunion and she meets somebody like LARON, who also has his own issues and doesn't know how to watch his mouth, I think that's kind of what set everything over the edge. I don't think it was just one thing. She was actually putting herself, creating this kind of perfect storm for this to happen on the reunion when you have isolated yourself. You have been confrontational all season. You've kind of, pushed the women away. And then when you get on the reunion and then you come in contact with LARON and he's saying whatever he's saying, it's an explosion. And I think for people like LARON, and I think Jay was hitting on this, you never know if you're going to meet the right one for your antics. And what I mean right one is that not everybody that you're dealing with in society is whole. A lot of people are dealing with stuff. They're going through stuff. Some people can handle the digs. They can sit up and keep it cute like how MIEKA was going back and forth. Some people don't have it all together for that. You play with them and then they explode, right? And that's not to defend Alexis. It's just I think everyone needs to be aware. Everybody ain't gonna take the stuff the same, right? So if he actually called her, the coke whatever, you don't know what type of reaction or what that's gonna trigger in the next person who may not be able to handle it. But I do think, though, I don't want it to be missed. The situation with Alexis was not just a miracle one-off whatever. It was building all season. And when you're finally confronted and there's no room to kind of escape or go out and get away from the situation, I think sometimes you have these type of meltdowns. And I would love for her to come up here and really talk about like why she just didn't connect with the women. Or I would love to know why she thinks she had so many confrontations throughout the season. Because a lot of the times people's backstories aren't as interesting. I think there has to be something with her backstory that explains why she couldn't find not one woman in that entire cast to kind of confide in, be there with, talk to. That's just really different. There has to be something there. It has to be something there. So.
Go for it, Lorraine.
Yeah, I just want to touch on the mental health conversation. As somebody that used to work in mental health services, that's not the issue here. Unless it's EUPD, which is emotionally unstable personality disorder, but that's quite consistent. And that would have been quite consistent in her behavior throughout the season. She seems very self-aware because she said, if you want to go there, we can go there. I'm the one, I can do this and that and all that kind of stuff. So in my previous professional opinion, I don't think that it's a mental health issue. I think that, like what C-Ray's saying, it's a combination of everything that was happening throughout the season and also who she is as a person. And she seems very self-aware, so she knows how she responds, but she clearly doesn't know why she responds in that way. It just so happened that LARON pushed a button that kind of took her over the edge. So I'm not saying that she's not struggling with or whatever with anything that she's struggling with. We're all going through things. We all have things that we're dealing with. But in terms of like a mental health diagnosis or symptoms, again, I'm only going off of the show. I don't know her. She doesn't come across as somebody with mental health difficulties. Again, unless it's EUPD, but that is quite consistent in how it kind of presents itself. I just think it's somebody who is broken, like most people. Like a lot of people are broken out there and are going through life as normal. It's only when you start talking to somebody for a period of time or something happens that you then see that something is broken. It's not situations that shows that brokenness. It's who you are. And some people might never actually understand where their brokenness is coming from, and it's not put up on television for everyone to sit up and analyze their behavior, and they're doing this because of this and da 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 da. Like, there's brokenness in a lot of people, and she just so happened to display it on national television. It doesn't necessarily mean that she's got mental health difficulties.
Which one was the man that came up here and said that she was most of the men's top? Who was that, Don? Was it Don? I just want to know. I just want trying to figure out how we go from being most of the men's top to just out here wilding like this. You know what I'm saying? Like, how we miss and when I say we, I'm talking about the men, how we missed all of these red signs or whatever her. And I mean, it goes back to C-Way's point is that pick me energy is because you showing one part of you showing she has a detachment from women to start off. And I mean, I could explain why her and LARON get into it a little bit because he be a little sassy, but that's a whole nother story. But she has this little thing against women, and I'm not saying she got a mental health issue or whatever, but it's given somebody scarred her as a woman figure in the life that scarred her because she really. Listen, I am a type of girl that really I run with the guys a lot better than I do with women, but that's because I also have a lot of women cousins in my life. It's like I don't really need too many outside women, but when I'm with women, I'm with women. You know what I'm saying? Like me and C-Way got a great relationship together. I got other women friends that we got great relationships together and all this stuff. I can bond with women, though I might relate with men a lot more. She had, like C-Way said, not one. Something is totally off. Not one woman on this whole cast you could have bond with, not even LARON before she left. I don't know. It's something not right there. I'm not a doctor. I can't diagnose nobody. I'm not going to say it's a mental health issue, and it could just be some type of brokenness there. But obviously some brokenness leads to mental health issues later on. Sometimes we do things, we put things in our body that leads to chemical imbalances in our brains and stuff like that. I don't know what the disconnect she has there when it comes to bonding with women. And I'm not saying these women is all the best, but there is some of them we could see that's reasonably okay. You know what I'm saying? Like, really, like, if you can't bond with LARON, I don't know what this and maybe I don't know enough of LARON, you know what I'm saying, to say maybe I might be prejudging her wrong, but she just seemed like she's very easygoing and cool to be with. And I hope I'm saying her name wrong. If I'm not, I apologize. But I don't know. And then on top of you fussing and fighting with all the men, you just really have nobody. That's wild. I just need to know why it is that you have put yourself in this corner. But I will say this, though, to your point, Kojo, and it's earlier that you said, we can't be popping off at the mouth and then start to play victim later on either, though. We got to hold our accountability that if we're going to stand in this fire and we're going to fight these battles, that we fought these battles with honor and stuff like that. I can't sit there and be like, oh, now that I'm losing, this person attacked me. Well, first of all, you jumped your ass on the battlefield. Okay, so, and again, I'm going to say it again. Anytime you up in a man's face, space, or whatever, stuff like that, be prepared to fight like a man, regardless if it's verbally or not. You got to be prepared to go there. Now, clearly she was prepared to take on the whole squad. A little unstable, but you know, she wasn't, I don't think she was going to really jump up and fight LARON, but I do feel like she need to keep her hands off of Justin and out of his space, because he really didn't do nothing but tell her, you screaming in my ear, girl, move.
Yeah, listen, it's a madness. I can't even lie to you. And you're absolutely right. Listen, we want to be able to give grace. So I mean, listen, if she came on a platform, she would get grace. You know what I mean? I would handle her with, as we say, kids' gloves, but we definitely would show her grace. I just wanted to have a bit of smoke before the comment on the channel, because I just felt like her behavior was a bit mad. It was just way too mad, and I don't think this is an isolated incident. I think the way she blacked out was not an isolated incident. You don't black out because of one situation. You black out because this has happened before. You know what I mean? Like at our grown-ass ages anyway. You know what I mean? So I was like, nah, she gotta get some smoke. Personally, I don't know. I don't think there was any mental health issues here. I just think that she's a wounded person who, you know, you press all the right buttons and give her the right scenario and situation, she gonna black out. And of course, it's a perfect storm, perfect scenario. Everybody's angry. So not everybody's angry. Everyone's kind of against you. It's a perfect environment for the blackout to happen. Do you know what I'm saying to you? So yeah, no, I definitely understand that, you know, for sure, we'll give her grace. I don't want to ever say we're not going to give nobody grace. She'll get grace, by all means. I think, no, you know, it's new. So that's why I'm saying, like, right now, she needs
and don't get me wrong, when I'm saying this,
I'm not saying you're not doing that.
No, not that.
Yeah.
I'm just saying the mental health thing. I said when I'm saying something's going on up here, don't get me wrong, I don't mean that it's just mentally something's going on. Something is stuck and not computing in there to say, you know what, I need to bring myself down. I need to calm down. Or whatever. I'm not saying that she has to be diagnosed bipolar, ADHD, something like this to justify it. Because still, even with people I know that does that, they don't pop off like this. You know what I'm saying? I know some bipolar people still don't really pop off like this. They still can be regulated, and they still have some self-regulated abilities within them. She's struggling in that department. Something's not right why she's struggling so hard in that department. You feel what I'm saying?
Deacon, you have anything to add? All right. Well, listen, look, I'm sure we'll probably end up having another live during the course of the week, because this situation is obviously, look, it's quite a big one talk as well. And I'm sure we can go a little bit deeper as well. So, but let me get Sean, if you could just give us the benediction, and our time is up. So give us a benediction and we'll round up the festivities today.
All right, sounds good to me. So I think we talked about a lot today. We had a great discussion. We had a surprise edition too. So for anybody, you know, who's catching us on the replay, please drop in and rewatch. We had a cast member come in and clear up some important, pertinent details. Shout out to Will. So I think the first thing that we learned, we dived into Patrice and Alonzo. Listen, don't be giving out keys on day 3 and then expect for loyalty, you know? So look, I just think we need to be careful about our foundations and our relationship. What's the foundation you set? How you move throughout the course of that relationship sets the tone, and that's for both people in that relationship. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, please make sure that you are acting in all truth and all honesty. And unfortunately, and more often than not, love is not blind. So please don't go into your relationships like the 3 blind mice. You need to go in eyes wide open and knowing exactly what you're getting yourself into. We talked a lot about Will, Alexis and his connection. We learned some things about Will and his career path. Shout out to him. He's a successful brother. listen, everybody, there's a different lid for every pot, right? So please, some people are gonna show their money, show their wealth in a quiet way, and some people want to be loud and proud about it. So, you know, hey, to each his own. You know, some people like a low-key lifestyle, and we can understand and respect that too. That's more often my choice, but hey, I'm not gonna step on anybody that chooses to operate in another way. Last but not least, our good friend Alexis. You know, we spent a lot of time diving into her. Please, anybody watching this, there's no preferences, there's no nothing. Sometimes we agree, sometimes we disagree. Sometimes we want to dig in deeper on certain people and get under the hood of why somebody acts a particular way, what causes somebody to react a particular way. And I think Alexis has triggered that discussion. But I think the big part is learning to control yourself, no matter what, no matter who says what, who did what. You are in charge of yourself. So please be yourself, controlled, be guarded. Do not let others knock you off your peg, because when you give people that type of control over you, you are uncontrolled. And when you are uncontrolled, unfortunately, you know, you're liable to do some uncontrollable things. So back to you, Coach.
Yeah, listen, audience members, thank you so much for this, man. We had 1,200 turn up for this live. And stick with us for 3.5 hours. Crazy numbers. But, you know, first and foremost, I always want to give out praise to Jesus. You know what I mean? If you know the warfare I've been doing behind the scenes, you know, it's manifesting itself in the physical, because God is working wonders here. So, look, as much as everything is great, what we do here, I always give praise to God first and Christ Jesus, because he's the one that gets the glory. But I really do appreciate everybody turning out. I appreciate people who are giving memberships out to other people. I appreciate those who've become members as well. It's honestly appreciated. And look, these conversations we have, the different kaleidoscope of thought processes is important, because we get a whole eclectic thought process, which gives us more, you know, a different understanding of what's happening. So I really do appreciate everybody here, especially the chat as well, who are supporting us. If you're watching but you're not necessarily talking, look, I want to encourage you, get involved. And I'll tell you why. When you get involved, it just adds a different experience to you. You know what I mean? I know that a lot of people like to stay in the background. Some of you are watching as you're cleaning, or you're doing something, or maybe you're cooking, or maybe you're out and about, or whatever. You just kind of listen to us in the background. I appreciate that too. But I always love people to engage, because it really does add more flavor to the conversations as well. And your contribution is important. You know what I mean? So once again, I want to thank you all for joining us today. We'll be back on Tuesday, well, Monday night for our other channel, Christian channel, but on Tuesday night, Jay, are you still doing as well? If you just let them know a little bit, Tuesday night.
So Tuesday afternoons, we're here about 4 p.m. EST to do Martha's Vineyard, Summer House Martha's Vineyard. And so we'll be on episode 3 this week. And so y'all come on through over at Another Round on YouTube.
Thank you, Jay, for that. Yeah, so Tuesday, 4 p.m. EST, we'll be doing another round, and we're talking about, you know, we're talking about, obviously, Martha's Vineyard. I'm really enjoying that show. That's another show that we have a panel for. I'll try and edit it a bit more and cut it up so you guys get a chopped up version as well as the longer version as well. So, but yeah, we're looking forward to that. And obviously, Married at First Sight will start again very soon. I will be back on that show. I had to give myself a break. I'm sorry, I just couldn't do it. Sean's been holding it down, but I just couldn't do it. You know what I mean? My spirit wasn't taking. I'm gonna come back the next season. Okay, I'm seeing some black folk in this thing, so I'm gonna jump on it. But yeah, no, we ready to go again. So, and then Tuesday night, I think I have it at 8 p.m. I think I do. We have a members only live. Y'all asked me something, and it's funny because God was kind of telling me, and I was like, yeah, I want to do it. You know, some of you were asking me to do a live where you guys get to come on and we do some live kind of coaching or interviewing kind of things. And I said, you know what? Okay, I'll open myself up to it. And so listen, if you already are a member, that pound or that dollar is coming in handy. If you're somebody who wanted, a coaching session, or you wanted me to do like how I do my interviews, and you wanted to be interviewed per se, then listen, Tuesday night's gonna be a great time. We're gonna do a few of those in the next hour, in an hour or two as well. Just have a bit of fun with it. as well. So look, we got some great things coming up in the course of the week, and I hope you guys really do enjoy. But let me just pray before we go. Father, we thank you in the name of Jesus. An amazing time we had today for the last almost 4 hours. Time flies by when you're having fun, but I really do appreciate everybody here, and I just pray that, Lord, that we may have been talking about Ready to Love, but God, you have an extraordinary way of using your spirit to touch people in different ways. And I just pray that, Lord, whether they're Christian, whether they're not Christian, I just pray that, Lord, that you will speak to your children. I pray their ears are open. I pray their eyes of understanding are open. And I just pray that, Lord, that you speak a word to them. You know, maybe it's a comfort they need. Maybe it's a financial breakthrough, whether it's maybe a miracle in their life, Lord. I just pray that, Lord, that you will answer prayers in these people's lives as well. And I thank you, Lord, for this opportunity and time to be able to have this show. And we appreciate you, God, going forward. And thank you, and God bless you, Lord. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen. All right, guys, we are out, okay? All right, we are out. It's been interesting, it's been fun, and we are going to bounce as well, all right? Much love and much appreciation. We missed talking about Glenn. Yeah, you know what? We'll probably chop him up in a week. We'll chop him up in a week, you know. Him and the girls, because we didn't get to the girls properly, so...
Alexis went on him too.
Yeah, no, she didn't even give him a chance. He said, "Damn." He was like, "Damn." She was like, "You're not gonna be open."
Your cup look empty. Let me go refill that.
He said, "Let me get out of here because the cup did not run off over here. Okay, the oil's not filling the vessels. Okay, ain't no miracles going around here. You got me scared." Ladies and gentlemen, we'll see you soon. Appreciate you guys. Stay locked, stay loaded. Good night.